You'll also be glad to know that there's no auction house in Diablo 4. The auction house in Diablo 3 was a complete mess that people could actually...
It was great. Oh my god. I love the Diablo 3 auction house. Man, that was just something
S.W.Frost 1 is now live. Streaming games plus demos. Don't eat snacks while in VC.
To sell things on that auction house, and they shut it down. But before then, he was eating good. Yeah, those were the days.
Use real money to buy items off.
Yeah.
There will be none of this nonsense, but you will be able to trade between players. Only normal, magic and rare items can be traded. Gems, golden elixirs can be also, so no legendaries or unique items. Rare items can be enchanted, but then when they are enchanted, they can no longer be traded. Guys, that's where
and they also are enchanted with like the lowest tier roll of the legendary effect.
End the video there. If you haven't already, please do me an absolute solid and check out my second channel. My plans on my second channel very soon is to cover the new Bethesda game, Starfield, which is essentially going to be Skyrim in space. The release date has been announced, and we're going to be following that game very closely with videos on that channel. Anyway,
oh, I think it's Star Citizen. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see a lot of people that are frustrated. But by the way, I think Starfield's gonna suck. Like, look at Quinn's first day in Diablo 4. I think this will be good. Here we go.
Something about being a jack chick kind of turning me on, though, you know. Oh, dude, it's better graphics, though, dude. Look at those graphics, boy. Oh, it's almost like I'm playing World of Warcraft. No, 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 no. The combat was kind of satisfying.
That's what you get.
That's the slower gameplay. I'm really liking it. Oh, we just killed their mom, bro. Rip Bozo. I'm looking into Barbarian. We're going to the waifu Barbarian for sure, right? Oh my god.
Oh god.
Bro, what the?
Oh my god.
We have 4 face variations. She's cutest there. She's cutest there for sure.
Definitely.
You can go like pale white. You can go giga black. You can go muddy even.
Okay.
Wait, should I go with dude? Should I go with dude?
Look at Quinn's first. Why the fuck is the Diablo Immortal character creator more in depth than the Diablo 4 character creator? How did this happen? It's embarrassing.
Something we already watched, but different. Oh, dude, it's better graphics though, dude. Look at those graphics.
No, his character's in the game, dude.
2015. Nah, it's pretty good, chat.
It's in the game.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
What are you looking for?
Oh, should I zoom in? It's kind of crazy. What the fuck? I can zoom in. What the fuck? Holy shit. This is so surreal. I'm playing Diablo 4.
Even a holy man like him was driven mad by whatever he saw.
I think the voice acting is good. You guys think voice acting is bad? I don't know. I'm not triggered at all by this.
Yeah, it's good. I think voice acting was unironically good. Yeah, for sure.
My emotion is not ruined in brackets 1 when it damages a health.
I want to play it so bad. So what you need to do is, so if you have a local KFC, just, you know, call over there, see if they've got the double down. I think they call it the ticket to hell. No, maybe that's only if you buy 10 of them. And you just get that, and you're able to, you buy that, and you get into the Diablo 4 beta.
Oh, shit, that's literally the rune, dude. You could change the runes. Oh, no.
Someone said instead of skill tree, skill twig. Which, like, to be fair, it is basically a twig.
Oh, dude, what? Unshackles inflicts a bleed of 5 seconds. Critical strikes and let it strike right you berserking for 1.5 seconds. Okay, so it's a full tree. I will deep dive the fuck out of this tree. It's looking like, you know, currently. So you get one
Kumara 6000. Welcome to my channel. Discord /
Diablo 2-esque, isn't it? As you spec down, you need certain
069714622.
It's like every single other.
Što sam ono htio ti kažem, kume? Nemoj sad da pričaš sa mnom, idi pričaj s Bekom. Sjećaš se, ja sam ona kukavica koja opali metak i nema ga nikad kad je team fight. Uvijek je kilometar nazad, sjećaš se? I bilo je vrlo smešno juče slušati te. Znam da si htio da napraviš kontraefekat, da me zapravo povučeš da igram s vama u fazonu kao, a ne igraš ti tako, kao, ne, to je kontraefekat, ja ne želim da igram timski s vama, išta. I nemojte ni da me zovete, ni da me bejtujete tako loše. Ili nemoj više nikada pričaš o tome, ili ne moram da pričam o tome. Kako ja igram ili ne igram tebe, boli kurac. Evo ti ga. Samo da nađem telefon. Izvolite. 069 714 622. Idi priča opet Beki viceve. I smej se meni.
Kata. Welcome to my channel.
A sada oprosti, moram da igram Diablo 2. Tako. Ne moram ušte da pričam preko Discorda. Kao što ne pričam ni s Vekom preko Discorda. Da ga ne bi oterao 3 pičke maten, da ne bi rekao da jede govna i da je kreten. Ovako je super. Ne pričam s njim, tako ni s tobom neću da pričam. Izvoli. Tu ti je telefon ako imaš nešto da kažeš. Idi pričaj Bekivice, njega ovo iseljavaj.
Isebe. Welcome to my channel.
Skill tree.
Decent amount of
The
abilities.
diversion has
Holy
started.
shit!
We should hurry. They're counting on us to open the main gate.
Look at that loot! Oh my god, dude!
Yeah, it looks cool.
Okay, we have a damage range and we have a... Hey chat, that's better than the
Well, it looks like
screenshots
he's
we were
having
looking at.
fun. Yeah, I mean, this looks like, yeah, he's enjoying the game. This is nice.
Got him out. Done this guy.
It's a dot for 1 damage.
You're trash. So I got an extra skill point now. Okay, pretty easy to understand. And now I'm over here. Oh man, it's vulnerable already. Gotta restart? Do I have to restart? Go Q fast? Okay. What? Everyone said go Q fast! Okay, so we got force move here. I'm using a side mouse button for this chat right now.
Did that actually happen to him?
Left click doesn't load? Wait, that's a problem.
I heard it was bad.
Listen, I want move and interact to be
Oh
left
my
click.
god.
You literally, wait, why would they make this a thing? Why would they not let you have loot and force move on the same key, bro? The issue is right now, you cannot have interact bound with move. I mean, I can get used to this though, line. I'll just have to get used to literally flipping and interacting with a separate key. The game is, the game. Oh,
You know why? It's because that's how Lost Ark is.
this guy got?
Duh.
Okay. That one is a little bit more interesting than Diablo 3 Mortar, I'll give you that. Because Diablo Mortar, you
It's
can't really
G
avoid
in that game. This game is different. It's F.
Oh shit!
This was
Yeah.
cool as like a first boss.
This,
I was actually kind of surprised that the bosses were relatively challenging.
I am hardcore, chat. If I die, I am dead. What is that? What does that debuff my globe? Some sort of debuff my globe, chat. Oh, Nelly!
Easy enough. All right, good. Not too bad.
Not today,
Okay.
Not today, sir.
Nice.
Oh shit, okay. Oh shit! This is crazy! Oh shit, what the fuck? Oh, I've been poisoned. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? I saved your ass, and now what? Oh shit. Hey, yo, they ain't fucking around, bro. They got some mosquito on that shit, bro. What the
This was my favorite part of the story, by the way. I really like this part. After they got into the town and met the guy, I didn't feel like it was as gritty and just like savage as this part. This is my favorite part. It's so good.
Well, they bled up, or you dead as fuck. I mean, you dead as fuck.
Yeah, this shit was easy. No big deal. Yeah, this is so good.
Fuck him. Oh shit. Oh jeez.
We're just stabbing him to death.
Need to kill him. Oh.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Oh jeez. Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna watch this cinematic again.
That was kind of hectic.
Never had happened.
What the fuck? Did you see Lila's titties? Oh god, hey, that was crazy.
Yep. Wait, what just happened?
Crazy, bro. Congratulations, your class is created. Accept. No. This time tomorrow, I'm gonna be playing D4. I'm gonna be playing it. It's gonna be on my computer, and I'm gonna be playing the game. Alright, this is hardcore, by the way. Yo, it's hardcore in the title, by the way, so people understand why I'm acting like a massive pussy. So I don't want to die.
Jesus.
Damn. Shrines. Granted variety.
That sucks.
You're invulnerable and unstoppable. So just. Oh shit. Okay. I really want to use this key. I don't know why do they lock these.
Hey, whenever you play a sorceress, you don't have to play as a girl, right? You can play as like a guy. Because I don't want to have to play as a girl. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that makes literally no sense. Like, why would they lock these skills? Yeah, there's no like you can get an advantage. It's just some shit, I guess, for consoles.
I'm not doing it.
That's so weird, bro. What the fuck? Okay. Bet not buy. Where do I see that shit? Aspects, quest, consumable. I have no choice. Okay, I have no choice. Quest, consumable.
Look at that face. Oh man, look at that face. Wow.
I have no choice.
Uh-huh. Oh my god. That's brutal, man.
Bro, please, bro, please, bro.
Have you
Fuck.
sending a message to that fat girl you were watching on Twitter? I'm sure she has at least 20 double down codes for you.
Please, bro. Please, bro.
Have you considered sending a message to that fat girl you were watching on Twitter? I'm sure she has at least 20 double down codes for you. Log in multiple times.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck's going on? It's lagged out completely. I might be done, chat. I might be done. Again.
Oh my god. All
You
right.
just made me, bro. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here, kids. Let's get the fuck out of here. Oh, okay. Gaming. We're gonna push over there, dude. Watch it.
So we got to level 4. That's pretty good, right?
Go, bitch. Spot here, boy, dog.
The bleeds are pretty good. I didn't see that
Next stop
whenever I was
delivery.
playing.
You guys
That's
gotta see it.
nuts.
Next stock delivery, 4323. What the fuck? Gaming chat. You gotta go find the horned woman. I don't know what the fuck these
That
world quests
sucks.
events are, chat, but the thing is kind of crazy. You did, bitch.
I feel like the density is, it goes from being really good to not really good. One of my favorite things in PoE is whenever you get like a fucking influenced map with like 100% plus quantity and like item or like mob density, and you just go in there and you do like one AoE and your rampage stacks go from like 3 or like, you know, 17 to like 150. It's so good. And like another good example is like Chaos Dungeons in Lost Ark. That's so badass.
I've been hiding loot this entire time. Yeah. It's not. I spent some
Alicidra. Welcome to my channel.
These mobs were annoying in Diablo 3 too.
It's kind of satisfying.
I hated those fucking mobs. They would put poison on the ground.
I'm really liking it. Like the gameplay is clean, and actually the tuning. I thought the tuning was gonna be dog shit, and everything was gonna be really, really fucking easy and like, you know, like kind of MMO-ish.
I felt the same way. I was really surprised at how challenging the game was. Like, I expected the tuning in Diablo 4 to be like, so yeah, here's the boss, and you hit him 3 times on hard mode and he dies. If you're on normal mode, if he hits you 3 times, he dies.
But, you know, you're actually having to play the game, which is...
Only on Barb? Alright, we'll see what it's like as Sorcerer.
Is so basic to the point where it's like, I just don't even care about my items right now, which kind of like, it's a little bit sad about that, obviously. But maybe as we get higher, I will care about itemization and like what's actually on the rolls, like the actual gear,
yeah,
actual modifiers. Okay, wait. Would you drink Lilith's blood, dude? You were like a pleb inside Sanctuary? No, thanks. Break yourself upon my body. Oh, shit! What the fuck? Totally.
Holy fuck! What's this one here? Basic skill increases your next core skill. Oh, that's really fucking good. Holy shit, that's good. Wow.
Pretty legendary, guys. When I say something's like Lost Ark or something, I don't think it's like, you know, I'm talking about in terms of systems and shit. Let's be real here. This aesthetic completely, like, bro, I mean, it's like they're not even the same realm. They're not even the same. Look.
Fate and Lost Ark and Diablo. It's kind of close. Like, Lost Ark has so many different settings. They have steampunk settings, fucking medieval European settings, like hell settings, Lili settings. It's very different.
Lost Ark looks so
furry village settings.
The aesthetic is so fucking trash. It's so fucking bad. I absolutely hate the fucking weeb shit, the big fucking titty waifus, all the stupid weird.
Oh yeah, but no, bro, we gotta go back to where he was talking about how nice Lilith's boobs were. What do you mean? Oh yeah, right. Yeah, right. He tries to say that, but we all saw what he said actually, though.
Cool. Like, why do I prefer these aesthetics over Lost Ark aesthetics? Like, and it's not even close. Like, if
I think it's because it's more realistic and it's more immersive in that way. And like, also, the scale of it is much lower, so you can feel like it's more of like a visceral experience versus like Lost Ark and like other like super high fantasy games that become like it's like hard to follow. It's more grounded, yeah.
That's right. Lost Ark has like a 4. It almost doesn't matter what I pick.
I would say Lost Ark aesthetics were both a 4 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10. That's the weirdest thing about the game.
I'm in the beginning of the game, yeah, but this is the in-game skills, right? Like these are the abilities, yeah?
Some areas are amazing, yeah.
All the abilities that exist. Or do I get like a whole new set of abilities and a whole new tree unlocked soon? Bruh, what? You got your own daughter? Oh, time to kill your mom. Time to kill your mom. One of those things. Oh shit, I hit her, Baron.
One of those things?
Whoa, what the fuck's that? Time to die, bitch. Time to die, bitch. Yo, I just care about legendary. Bro, what the fuck? These things are impossible to hit, mate.
I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm glad that he's complaining about that too. I'm gonna say it again. It's not fun to play a melee character in a game where all the ranged mobs are programmed to run away from you. It's just not fun.
What the fuck? That's some bullshit. Oh, we just killed their mom, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is.
This
I could
feels
recognize
weird.
that thunder anywhere.
I'm saying it feels fucking weird. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying this does not feel like any fucking ARPG I've played. It's like, it looks like Diablo, and it fucking looks awesome. It sounds awesome. It's tight as fuck. But I don't know. It's almost like I'm playing World of Warcraft. It's almost like the same vibe I get when I'm. It's like it'd be like logging in. That's why I'm straight up. I like World of Warcraft though, so that's why.
I don't know. I feel like it's like it was the same to me as like playing. Like, I'm gonna have maybe a very, very hot take here. I think that I enjoyed Act 1 in Diablo 3 more than I enjoyed it in Diablo 4. I think I actually liked Act 1 more in Diablo 3. Now, Act 1 in Diablo 3, in my opinion, though, is like S-tier gameplay content. It's actually fucking amazing. Like, I went back and I played Diablo 3 a couple of times over just because I thought the campaign was really fun.
It's weird to me, right? That's why I'm getting weirded out. Bro, run away from my fucking damage reduction? Fuck you, that's so bullshit. I should have my damage, I should have more Diablo. Don't commit.
Got his ass.
I didn't think I was gonna die to that, dog. Holy shit. I'll be honest, I feel absolutely fucking devastated today.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like, you know what it feels like? It's like binge watching a show. And you get 24 hours, kind of spaced out. You don't really feel it. I feel like right now I'm not appreciating the game because I'm fucking.
I feel the same way. Like, I never like binge watching anything. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, I remember I binge watched Castlevania, and I don't think I appreciated it as much as, like, you know, watching a show like more over time. Yep, there you go. I thought this would be pretty funny to watch to see what everybody else's experience is here with Diablo 4. Let me link it for you guys there. Weekly shows are so much better. Yeah, like I would go home, I'd have dinner with my dad, and then like I'd go home and watch Game of Thrones like every Sunday. Well, I remember that extremely well. Yeah, 100 fucking percent, man. D3 act rankings, 5, 1, 3, 4, and 2. I think Act 1 was my favorite. I don't remember Act 5 all that much, to be honest. I just didn't really give a fuck about it. I thought Act 3 was pretty good. I didn't like Act 2, and I also didn't like Act 4. Act 4 felt weird to me. I don't know why. It just did. That one was behind you. Was your hair? Yeah, sure. And what's this here? You watch sex scenes with your dad? No, I went home. I watched it on my own. That's what I'm saying, right? Is I would watch. I would come home and I would. I had my friend's login for HBO Go, so I would use his. I would use his login, and I would do that. Yeah, Act 4 Angel shit was weird. Yeah, I thought so too, and like how they would teleport to you, and like I don't know why. I just didn't really like it that much. I don't know what else to say, man.
looking for? A new weapon, perhaps? Could I interest you in a belt? A ring? Oh well, keep looking then. You know Mojave is always the best value. Don't be shy. Mojave has everything a soldier needs.
Let's see now.
How Diablo 4 is redefining itemization. A lot of people link me this video, and I figured I'd watch it.
Today's video, we're going to discuss how Diablo 4's approach to itemization is in many ways revolutionary, but also sticks to the tried and true systems we love from
I feel like it's the exact same as Diablo Immortal. Okay.
past Diablo games. After all, Diablo 2 is the game that set the standard for so many games that came after it. Many proclaim
Maybe he knows something I don't know.
itemization, and to this day, many games still look to Diablo 2's itemization for inspiration. Now, when it comes to Diablo 4, one of the most innovative new features, and what I think is genius, is that the appearance of weapons and equipment will be based on the region.
How Diablo 4 is redefining itemization. A lot of people link me this video, and I figured I'd watch it.
Today's video, we're going to discuss how Diablo 4's approach to itemization is in many ways revolutionary, but also sticks to the tried and true systems we love from
I feel like it's the exact same as Diablo Immortal. Okay.
past Diablo games. After all, Diablo 2 is the game that set the standard for so many games that came after it. Many proclaim
Maybe
it
he
had
knows something I don't know.
perfect itemization, and to this day, many games still look to Diablo 2's itemization for inspiration. Now, when it comes to Diablo 4, one of the most innovative new features, and what I think is genius, is that the appearance of weapons and equipment will be based on the region. armor found in Skazglen might have a more druidic look than a chest armor found in Kyrgyzstan, which
Great
has
example.
a more arid environment, and therefore you might find the chest armor with more of a baggy cloth look to it. Now, this is something completely new to ARPGs or any game, as far as I know, and really helps with immersion, since you would think you would find items that look like they're from the zone you're in. Now, I'm really excited to see if the same exact item dropping in 2 different zones looks different depending on the zone you found it in, right? And so that would be,
I think that will probably be true for like yellow items, but probably not true for uniques. Like, for example, Andariel's Visage has a very defined look. Scorn has a very defined look. Like, you can't have a druidic Scorn, and you can't have a, you know, cloth version of Andariel's Visage, for example.
that the artists are designing multiple appearances for the exact same item.
Maybe you
on the
will.
flip side,
I
if
don't
it's
know.
just
That'd be really
certain
cool if they did
zone-themed
that.
Items only drop in their zones and nowhere else. Either way, however they end up doing, I think it's a very cool immersive design that's different than what we've seen in the past. Now, we've seen a few item tooltips and they're looking pretty great, but what we haven't seen live yet is that item tooltips are actually going to automatically adjust themselves when calculating lucky hit chance depending on what skill is equipped. Now, the reason for this is because different skills have different proc coefficients, and so
Oh, I get it. Okay, so it's kind of like how different spell. Yeah. I mean, I mean, you pretty much said it. Yeah, different spells have different percentages.
by changing your skills while hovering over an item, you can see in real time how
I really like this, by the way, because I think that one of the weaknesses that Path of Exile has is that a lot of the nuances to its itemization are not easily understandable. Like, it doesn't really make sense that Righteous Fire doesn't hit targets, for example. But, like, Righteous Fire does not technically hit a target. So anything that changes with spell hits doesn't matter. And increased and more. Is there a reason as a... like an English language reason why increased is additive and more is multiplicative that is intuitive for a user to understand? The answer, I think, is no.
that changes your proc coefficient. Now, this is a great change, I believe, that will really help players better understand their proc chances based on the current skill equipped, and really just help players optimize their build by letting them switch through their skills and realize, oh, this is probably the best skill to use with this lucky hit, for example. So
I think this is extremely good. And I'm really happy to see this, because I think one of the worst things about PoE that makes it hard to get into is that you see a build guide video and it's a 30-minute video and there's no gameplay in it. It's just a bunch of spreadsheets and like this fucking calculator with like all of these like simulations and shit like this. And the best part is that all of the comments are like, wow, bro, this looks awesome. Holy shit, I'm so excited. I can't wait to play this next league. Oh my god, man. I'm so ready to know life this. This is going to be amazing.
I think this is awesome.
Yeah, they love it.
It's going to help the player not have to
I think
do
it makes
as
it hard
much
to get into the
online
game.
browsing, and they can just stay in the game. And kind of
Yeah, you should not have to use a third-party tool to min-max the game. You should not have to use a third-party tool to theorycraft.
Figure it out for themselves. And if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Diablo 4 content. Now, usually all characters in a Diablo game would typically equip a total of around 10 items, but in Diablo 4, barbarians are able to equip a total of 12 because of the arsenal system, which lets barbarians use different weapons for different skills.
Because we're better.
And rogues, who can equip a total of 11 items because
they're not as good.
Additional ranged weapon. This is a very cool innovation for Diablo, which I'm actually interested to see how they end up balancing it, because an extra item slot in a game like Diablo, I feel like could really tip the scales, especially...
I disagree with that. Basing what they're going to do, I am assuming what they're going to do is going to be based off of like kind of New World. So for example, if you have a shield equipped, or actually, like, there are a number of different ways you can look at it. Basically, if you have a shield equipped to your character and you don't have a sword also equipped, the bonuses from the shield are not active. And I think what they're going to do with Diablo 4 is that the weapon swaps will change your stats dynamically inside of combat. And the weapons that you don't have currently active will not be active stats. I'm assuming. If they don't do that, it's going to be fucking broken.
A weapon in the barbarians case, or I guess both of them have weapons, right? This makes barbarians and rogues more hungry for loot, which means players might find it harder to find exactly what they're looking for because of the changes coming to trade. Now back in
this is a good insight, and I think he's definitely right about this, that it could make it more annoying to build a barbarian or a rogue if you know that you need more items. But I think that as long as they don't design it to where, like, you need, for example, like, I'm kind of guessing that, you know, ground slam or earthquake or something like that, maybe you can't use this with a sharp weapon and you have to use a blunt weapon instead. Like, hopefully that's not mandatory until very high into the end game.
Diablo 2, trading was a great way to collect all of your best items. You might find the best weapon for Necromancer, but
yeah, it's relevant for Mega Man
Maxing,
so exactly.
Trade it for one of your best items.
Yeah, it's like how in Path of Exile people will use, like, they will have an item swap macro, or not macro actually. They'll have an item, like a weapon swap, like, you know, a weapon swap to get Rampage, for example, or a weapon swap to debuff a target, and then they swap back to their main weapon to kill the target.
Maybe you'll just make a Necromancer later.
But you don't need to do that until you're doing Uber, like,
but for the
elite
purpose
bosses.
of this example, let's say you want to trade the item, right? Well, in Diablo 4, trading is going to be somewhat restricted. Certain items
Big
will
L.
be bound to your character and untradeable the moment you pick them up.
Not a
Meaning they are
fan.
bound to your character and cannot be traded. This is called bind on pickup, and this is a system in which
What I would hope they do is they would make it designed the same as Diablo 3 on release was designed. Well, actually, I hope that they make everything tradable. Everything should be tradable. I will not accept any excuse that Blizzard has that they cannot moderate a game whenever Path of Exile is fucking free and they're able to moderate RMT, but Blizzard in their buy-to-play game can't do it. Miss me with that bullshit. Hire more people, stop taking away their bonuses, and maybe it'll be okay. Yeah, absolute bullshit. However, if they were to come to a middle ground, I would love to see, remember back in Diablo 3 whenever it got released, how like yellow items were actually some of the best items in the game? And like you have like a yellow staff or like a yellow mace that was, you know, like top 10 in the world for DPS outside of like an Echoing Fury or something like that. So I would be okay with that if uniques were not tradable, but yellows were. But yellows were extremely competitive even at the highest level with the uniques. I guess I would be okay with that.
of Warcraft preventing certain powerful items from being traded. Developers have stated the main source for items should be from killing monsters, which I tend to agree with.
Which is in Path of Exile. The main source of items is killing monsters. You kill the monsters, then you sell the loot, and then you get the items.
I'm hopeful, though, that there will be a way to exchange items and equipment of value with other players in some form, and I think there will be, since the Diablo community is so creative. Now, moving on to what items actually do in Diablo 4. Affixes have always been exciting and a core part of Diablo. Now, one affix in particular from Diablo.
I really wish that games like New World would take more from Diablo in this way. I hate it whenever affixes, and I felt the same way, honestly, about Dark and Darker. A lot of the like high-end items, none of them felt like they were transformative enough to where like I was like, oh wow, this is completely changing my gameplay. I like it whenever items are actually really strong and different.
2 that was not in Diablo 3 is finally returning to the Diablo universe, and that is the plus skill rank affix. Like in Diablo 2, different skills roll on
that's like in
slots. So, for example,
PoE.
some items only appearing on certain weapons, like in Diablo 2, Wolf's Head Helms had
I really hope that they don't let this happen and make it to where the plus, because like you guys know, like how many of you guys did like a carrion golem build or something like that, where like plus level to carrion gems was just like the value of it was so high and so good that it just eclipsed everything. So I just hope that this is well balanced and we don't see like this blue axe being better than Scorn because it has +4 ranks. Remember like Cold Iron Pick and stuff like that, or Cold Iron Point?
druid skills,
Examples like
staves
that.
had sorceress skills, and what I'm actually interested to see here is if we can get other classes' skills. So, for example, in Diablo 2 Act 3,
Sorry, I have so much to say about this. I keep pausing over and over. Somebody says plus the skills is so lame. I totally disagree with you. And the reason why I disagree with you is because the plus level to skills hits different breakpoints. So, for example, there's a breakpoint at 26, I think, that allows you to summon an extra carrion golem. And there's also a breakpoint at 21 or 22 or 23, I forgot which one. It's one of those three that allows you to summon an extra skeleton. And then also, like with Righteous Fire, for example, if you have level 28 Righteous Fire, Specters, yeah, Specters are 21, I think. And fucking, like, if you have Righteous Fire, every other level makes your Righteous Fire larger. So what you had people doing is they were actually using bows, because bows had the most level bonuses for Righteous Fire. Like, I'll show you just really, really quick. I don't want to go off the rails on this, but let me see if I can find it. It was like, what's his name? Captain Lance or something like that? Fuck. This was from like a year ago, so I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. What was his name? Lance? Yeah, it was Lance something. I just remember, like, what the fuck is his name? Oh, God. Okay, well, anyway, I go back and find this. Captain Lance, yeah. Maybe this one. I'm not sure if this is it or not. Let's see. No, it's not. Well, anyway, I could go on and talk about this a million times. The point is that being able to get extra levels, the extra levels and ranks to the spell become interesting because they're not scaling linearly. Like, there are different breakpoints, and, like, kind of think of it as like steps in a staircase. So, like, if you're halfway up one step, you might as well have not really gone up at all. But if you can get up to all the way up, oh shit, that's a big difference. So I do think that, and actually hitting those breakpoints makes it very interesting. So I understand why you think that, but if you understand the way that it works in Path of Exile, you would see how it can actually be very interesting.
you could buy a Staff of Teleport, and that was amazing. It just enabled you to get around so much easier, right? You ran into a dead end, well, now you can teleport and get right back on your way. But teleport was a sorceress skill, and so being able to have that as a class other than sorceress was really, really cool. So I hope that's something that can happen again in Diablo 4 with the...
I disagree. I hope that you're not able to teleport with every class, because teleporting, I think, is really boring gameplay. And it makes it to where you have like a Flame Dash, for example, or Lightning Warp, where every single person is spamming Flame Dash and Lightning Warp. Another example of this is in New World. So in the first beta, it wasn't even a beta at this point, it was a preview event of New World. The Life Staff had this ability, and you would go, whoa, whoa, and you would zoom forward. And every single person had this Life Staff. And it became a mandatory thing, because if you're farming and you want to be serious about the game, everybody is using the Life Staff. And if you're not using it, you're not keeping up. So in my opinion, I hope that they make teleporting only for Sorceress, or only for one specific class, because I think the gameplay of that is so powerful that people will feel like they have to do it in order to maintain competitiveness.
Plus skill rank affixes, which are coming back. Okay, moving on to item qualities, which Diablo 2 established years and years ago and is still used in so many modern games, including Diablo 4. Item qualities include normal, magic, rare, legendary, set, and unique. Normal items will have no affixes. Magic items will have affixes, such as plus 7% resource regeneration.
Yellow is
rare
3.
items will have affixes that are usually better than magic items and can also have
least 3.
legendary affixes. Legendary items modify skills like in Diablo 3, but unlike Diablo 3, Blizzard has emphasized that they're not going to rain from the sky, meaning they're going to be much more rare, even though there will be...
I worry that this will be true for the first 6 months of the game. And what I think Diablo 4 really has to worry about is going down the route of PoE, because think about how much hate Chris got whenever he scaled things back from Harvest. Because I'll be honest, guys, I actually think Harvest crafting was massively fucking overpowered. But the problem is once you give people the keys to the castle, it's really hard to take them away.
Hundreds of legendary items in the game. Now this is awesome because being able to spend years and years playing Diablo 4 and still not find like certain items is what I'm looking forward to. So I hope they put...
I don't like that. I know what he's using as an example is it Tyrael's fucking... God damn it, where's the chest piece? What's the chest piece called? Not Tyrael's Visage. It's a Tyrael chest in Diablo 2. Tyrael's Might. Yeah, Tyrael's Might. I actually don't like that design, where an item is just so fundamentally rare that you might not ever see it. However, I do think there's a middle ground. So, like, I think mirrors and PoE are too rare. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Mageblood or Headhunter. Well, the difference with Mageblood and Headhunter, and the reason why I think that it's actually okay that they exist in the way they do in Diablo, or sorry, in PoE, is that in order to get a Mageblood, or I mean, I know a Headhunter, like I Ancient Orb the Headhunter, and I did it in Metamorphosis League. It was amazing, and then I quit the game the day after because that's all I wanted, and I got what I wanted, and I was like, well, I don't really care about playing with this item, I just wanted the item, and I got it, so I quit. And so anyway, I actually wasn't streaming at that time either. It was on break. And so anyway, there's like a bunch of other ways that you can get Headhunter. And there are ways that are more and less deterministic, right? So you have running certain map mods. Now, they changed this recently, but let's just assume that they didn't. You also have Chance Orbs, but these only work with leather belts. And then you also have Ancient Orbs, which are much more deterministic comparatively to Chance Orbs. But they don't require an item base. They only require a belt, period. And then you also have, of course, the, what do you call it? The divination cards, like Doctors, Nurse, etc. But also, keep in mind as well, you have you can just buy it. You can just go on the PoE trade and buy the item. That's it. Or you can buy towards the item. You can buy maybe a doctor a week, or a doctor like every couple of days if you're farming a lot. Like, there's a lot of ways that you can do it. So the only thing that I like what he's saying, having the item drop. You can play the game for years and maybe never have the item drop. But I don't agree with the idea that you can play the game for years and never be able to obtain the item. Does that make sense? And I really like the way that PoE does it with Mageblood and Headhunter, for example.
A ton of items that are rare in the game, and it just takes a long time to eventually see them. I think it's going to be a really fun way to explore Diablo 4 and make finding legendaries so much more meaningful. Now, legendaries will fall into a couple different categories, like generic, which any class can find useful.
Yeah.
Something like enemies hit by your basic skills increase the damage of your next core skill by 20%. Or they'll be skill specific, which only a certain class like Sorceress could find useful. Something like each time Chain Lightning bounces, gain 6 mana. Set items aren't going to be in the game at launch, but will be at...
I also hope that this is personal. Some people might disagree with this. I hope that items and class set items are the best items. Absolutely. I don't want it to be where, like, you have a Diablo 3 situation where, like, Witching Hour, as far as I know, like, for the longest time whenever I played the game, this was the best belt. And the reason why it was the best belt is because it had 10% crit, and, sorry, like, it was like 5 or 10% attack speed and 50% crit chance. It was just the best belt if you wanted to do damage. Oh, sorry, I don't care about set items. I care about items that modify spells in a unique way. Like the Talrasha 6-piece. I would love it if the Talrasha 6-piece was what's meta, and not just a 6-piece bonus that increased your damage by 600%. Because I just find it to be more interesting. And also it's easier to balance.
added post-launch and will be less powerful or equal in
6
power
pieces meta,
to
by the way.
legendary items and are really just meant
I
to
don't know
allow
how it is
players to
now.
live
I have
out
no
certain
idea.
class fantasies or act as an introduction to
It
the
was
class,
whenever I played,
not
too.
so much as an endgame best-in-slot item like they are in Diablo 3, where every season has you going straight for your class set, which sort of destroyed the player's opportunity for any sort of equipment creativity. The last type of item quality is uniques. These are items which you design your build around that have fixed affixes and are heavily tied to class-specific powers and themes. Very excited to see what some of those are.
Yeah, the unique items. That's kind of what I mean. I am curious. How do you guys feel about corruption? Like a corruption mechanic in Diablo 4. High risk, high reward. Good, you like it. Corruption was good. Corruption was good, but corruption was also like, no, it keeps you playing. It does. Like, think about how many times people would continue playing because they were looking for like a +2 to auras on chests or something like that. I don't know. Corruption like New World? No, corruption like PoE. Like rank 3 altar of sacrifice in Atziri's temple. Or not Atziri, so Atziri can be in the temple, but in the fucking Temple of Atzoatl.
I'm also really excited to see that the item qualities appear to be a mixture of Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. I personally
I hate to also say it, but a lot of these, it reminds me a lot of Diablo Immortal.
love Diablo 2 item quality is the best, but I think Diablo 3 legendaries were actually a lot of fun too, in the way that they
Diablo 3 legendaries were actually a lot of fun. I agree. I remember whenever I got the fucking we'll go all the way back. Like, I'm talking about Asmongold Diablo 3. Okay, where the fuck is this? Yeah, this is the old stuff. And wait, recently uploaded. Oh no, they changed this, didn't they? Oh my god. I remember whenever I got my 6-piece Tal Rasha set, like 2 weeks or 1 week into the first part of Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, and I could just walk around and I could do a fucking rift without casting a spell. That's how overpowered this shit was. It was amazing. Let me see if I can I find this somewhere? Oh fuck, where is it? Yeah, look at this. This was so fucking good. Just literally walking around doing absolutely fucking nothing. Complete passive build. You are a wizard? I was an Archon wizard. I hit Paragon 100 in base Diablo 3. And I quit the game 2 days afterwards because that's all I cared about. Yeah, I was so happy whenever I got this fucking set. Oh my god, my dick was so big. It was amazing. Let's go back to the video. Essentially Righteous Fire? Yes. Well, it's actually, I mean, well, actually a better analogy would be more like a ward loop, because you're casting multiple spells, because Tal Rasha would actually have a chance to proc all of the different weapon elements at the same time. It would actually be another good example would be the Betrayal set in Lost Ark.
could augment your character and sort of inspire you to play in a certain way. And I've seen the new inventory, and you can actually see here it's organized into 4 different tabs. You've got equipment, consumables, quest items, and aspects. This can be helpful to stay organized, but it also hints at the possibility that we may be looting a lot of quest items and holding on to a lot of consumables in Diablo.
Definitely not a fan of inventory management. I know you guys could probably assume that. I don't want to have to worry about holding on to consumables and having space allocated to them. I don't like it in PoE. It's annoying. The only reason I put up with it in PoE is because the game is so good. I don't want to have to put up with it.
4. After all, if we have an entire tab for that, which is the same size as the equipment tab, then there should be the same amount of consumables as equipment, theoretically, and quest items. So I think this is a hint that there's going to be a lot of stuff that you're picking up. Maybe you're going to collect like 20 or 40 different things for quests, and so you need a whole nother tab for it. But then again, the inventory could just be completely redesigned in the future. We'll have to see. It would be cool if you could put equipment on all the tabs, right? If that's the way you want to go. That's sort of interesting seeing this tab feature, and kind of interested to see how it fills up as we play the game. Now, one of the biggest surprises to me is that Diablo 4 developers have actually stated that the strength of your character is not going to come mostly from items, and I think this is an important point. Blizzard developers have stated their goal is for your power to come from a mixture of sources like skill upgrades, endgame systems like Paragon board, leveling, and then finally items as well. Now, this is pretty
I do hope that items are a bigger emphasis in your gear. Now, I do think that obviously the Diablo 3 version of, well, once you get this item and this item makes your Earthquake do 5,000% damage, and then you combine it with the other item that makes every single time that your Earthquake does damage, you cast a, Wrath of the Berserker, and it makes you do 1,000% damage. And then you put those two numbers together, and you're doing 3 trillion damage. And now your rank 10,400 on the leaderboard because your damage is awful, because you don't have the helmet that makes you do 800% damage whenever you're dealing 700% more damage. And then also, if you have enough damage multipliers, you have an attack speed multiplier. So yes, I think that Diablo 3 was like way over the line, but I really liked how in Diablo 3, the base game, and like this is the same with like classic WoW, is like you'd get a new piece of gear and you could feel it. Like, what was the first thing that you would do whenever you got a new weapon in WoW back in the day? You'd go to, you'd queue Warsong Gulch. You'd queue Arathi Basin with the boys. Because you wanted to fucking feel it. So yeah, I mean, like, I think weapons and gear should absolutely be the main way that your character is more powerful.
Surprising because items are so central to almost all Blizzard RPGs and most RPGs in general. Hunting for loot is just a core part of these games, and if items are only a part of that, I'm wondering what the other parts are that could possibly compete for your attention in the end game, because you're constantly always seeking loot. So I'm curious, are you just going to go out and grind XP instead of looking for loot, or is loot just going to be sort of a side objective? I'm interested.
I think that Path of Exile does it in the best way. That obviously the difference in power between somebody who's level 95 and level 100 can be substantial, because that's probably like maybe one other notable node. But other than that, like, you can get almost that way, that far. But a character that has 1 mirror worth of gear is not as powerful in a demonstrable way as a character that has 5 mirrors worth of gear. And the fact that that can exist, I think, is amazing. So I'm very much an advocate of gear becoming better and better and better over time. I just don't think it should scale to the extent that it does in Diablo 3.
To see how they end up pulling this off in the end. Another big part of Diablo 4 is actually going to be your mounts. Finding new and rare mounts beyond just horses is actually going to be part of the Diablo 4 experience. So I can only imagine, are we going to be riding demons? And what's interesting about mounts is that mounts themselves can even equip items which grant stats and change their appearance, or can make them even move faster. Now I'm curious to see how big a role mounts are going to play in Diablo 4, and to be totally honest, I'm not too excited about the mounts. I mean, moving faster is...
I'm willing to indulge in this, and this is not just as a balding mount collector, but are mounts going to effectively be your followers? Because we had followers in Diablo 3, and I thought followers, like, how many of you guys had the follower, and then you gave them, like, you either gave them the ring that, like, put, like, the damage zone on you, or it had, like, the sword where it would it would have, like, the demon spawn, and then you would pull mobs inside of the chain. Yeah, Unity.
is great, but it does sound like they're going to be a pretty big part of the game, and it could be sort of like your companion
whenever you
in a
mount
way,
them.
since there's not going to be mercenaries or companions like there were in Diablo 3 and 2, so perhaps mounts is sort of taking that place. I'm also curious how mounts are going to affect PvP. Is it going to be sort of whoever gets their dismount attack off first is going to get a big advantage, or how soon after taking damage can you mount up again in PvP? So I wonder if it's going to be a lot of like remounting a lot in PvP, but hopefully Blizzard finds a good way to balance mounts and make it a fun system that works. Now, another big innovation in Diablo 4 is that creature types have an increased chance of dropping certain items. So for example, bandits, they're going to have an increased chance to drop maces, crossbows, and boots, while drowned, which is sort of an undead creature that came out of the ocean, are going to have an increased chance to drop pants. Other monsters.
So this is something that Path of Exile has. Like, you see a lot of people that were farming, I think, Tower for a while to get doctors out of Tower, because they were high value, and like now you see a lot of people farming, I think it's like Crimson Temple. I see a lot of that now, and I just worry that if they have like a couple of really good chase items from one specific mob type, and you don't have trading, because what trading does is trading also creates a supply and demand function. Because, for example, like one thing that I did a lot in PoE is I would run like the divination maps. I think they were called fucking like Putrid Corridor or Putrid Cloister. And I would run these all the time, and I'd make my money back on them because a lot of other people were not doing this. So like if you have everybody farming doctors and you have everybody farming headhunters, then the value of them is going to go down. So, of course, you know, conversely, the value of other things is going to go up. But whenever you don't have trading, you don't have these supply and demand correctionals to stop that from happening. So I would hate for it to be where, like, because this item drops only from this area, you have to farm the shit out of this area indefinitely. But if it's something like in Diablo 3 where they had, what was the ring where you could equip a set item with one less piece? It was like the Ring of Royal Grandeur or something like that. And you're able to get it relatively quickly after playing for maybe like 5 or 8 hours or something like that, then I think it's kind of okay. But it just depends on like how long that chase item takes to get.
Families like Skeleton, Fallen, and others will have their own increased drop chances, which hasn't been revealed yet. I think this is an interesting change. If you're looking for a specific piece of gear, you're going to go, okay, Skeletons drop gloves. I'm going to go to this crypt and just farm for my best in slot glove, and sort of that sort of is how it's decided, right? So
and that does sound
that's
cool.
Sort of the way we're going to do it, if that's their intention behind making certain monster families drop certain things.
The extent is what worries me.
Ultimately, how it turns out. When it comes to weapons, what I find interesting coming in Diablo 4 is that each weapon type is going to have inherent characteristics which can't be modified. So for example, bows, they're going to do plus X% damage to distant enemies. Staves are going to do plus X% damage to crowd-controlled enemies. So it's going to sound like this has really, it sounds like this really has the potential to control how you play the game. For example, if you're using a bow, you would almost want to be shooting at enemies that aren't even on your screen anymore, right? Like an entire screen away to maximize your damage bonus.
That's why you download the hack that increases your maximum view range, like you did in Diablo 3, so you can off-screen the mobs with your basic attacks with the old Demon Hunter. You know, I didn't do that.
If you are wielding a staff, you're going to want to choose all crowd controlling skills to ensure you're always getting that plus damage. So I think it's going to depend on how much plus damage actually it ends up being to determine if players actually completely change their play style depending on what weapon they're using. But it also does feed...
I'm also very much a massive advocate of allowing classes to play totally weird builds and having a build for warriors or barbarians that is a bow. I remember whenever they made a actual weapon throw build in Diablo 3 that could actually clear Inferno. I thought that was so fucking badass. And I love seeing builds like that.
In sort of the realism, the fantasy, the immersion of using your weapon properly, right? If you're using a bow, you probably shouldn't be in melee range, and so this sort of encourages players to use their weapons.
But what if there's a spell or a bow attack that's like a fucking like a spread shot where you're shooting like 5 arrows and it actually becomes good to be in melee range and it scales with strength instead of dexterity? I don't know. I think that'd be interesting. I hope they try, yeah, shotgun, basically. I hope they try crazy shit like that in the seasons.
In a way that is logical. So I think this could be a cool system. Now, another new feature coming to Diablo is dungeons, and what's cool about these dungeons is that you can actually farm specific item slots of gear. So for example, gloves. I imagine when you mouse over a dungeon entrance, you might get information on it, sort of like a tooltip on what specific item slot is going to drop off the boss or the monsters in the dungeon, so you can decide accordingly if this is a dungeon
games
you
have
want
this.
to do. Now, this is an interesting idea, but I'm wondering how it will be implemented. It could be cool to know exactly what item slot drops and then seek it out, but it also kind of takes away from the randomness and the surprise of finding an item you didn't even know about. Of course, over time,
I don't think that it will if it works the same way as PoE does, where there are certain maps that have a slightly higher chance to drop certain items, but the items that they can drop that's unique to that area, like there are a few things like Bottled Faith, for example, that only drops from Cortex as far as I know. It's like this will just simply never drop outside of Cortex. So yes, obviously there are some of those, but many of these items just have a higher drop chance in that area.
Everyone sort of learns where to farm certain items, so it might not be a bad idea to just show that in game.
Well, yeah,
so that you
because
don't have
Cortex
to
is
sort
in
of
feared.
look it up online or something like that. So I think it could be cool. Now, another new change coming in Diablo 4 is that primary stat main effects will be different depending on the class. So for example, strength is going to increase a barbarian.
This is good. This is actually the way that it worked with in like classic WoW.
Skill damage, but it's going to have actually no effect on sorceresses. Each stat also has a secondary bonus, which is going to actually be the same for all classes. So sticking with the strength example, 1 strength will increase armor by 1 regardless of your class. So this system makes sense, and it kind of allows for more deliberate choices to be made based on your stats. I've started to notice that Diablo 4 is almost trying to be a little bit more realistic, like with how weapons work and things like that.
Which I think is very good, because again, I think that one of the ways that Diablo 4 can separate itself, I don't think that Diablo 4 should even try to compete with Path of Exile in terms of complexity and depth. I think that is a losing battle. The truth is, Grinding Gear Games is a much smaller studio. Path of Exile is a much smaller game, and because of that, it can be more dynamic, they can develop more content, and they will run laps around Diablo 4. That's the truth, and they'll even do that for PoE 2, I think so. But what Diablo 4 can do is Diablo 4 can be that great action ARPG that maybe it doesn't have 1,000 hours of gameplay inside of every season, but god damn it, it's got 200 and they're really fun. It's kind of like the difference between Diablo 2 and Gauntlet, which ironically, I want Diablo 4 not to be like Diablo 2 in that circumstance. I want it to be more like Gauntlet.
More recent news, one of the most massive changes coming to Diablo 4 that we just learned about in the developer live stream at the end of February is that armor will also absorb elemental damage taken, which was only possible through resistances in past Diablo games. Armor will provide 50% of its reduction to elemental damage as well as its regular reduction.
I find it to be boring that it's such a universal percentage. I like how in New World there's armor that is more tailored towards resistance, towards physical and elemental damage. Like, it's not just 50-50. It's lazy. I think that it's lazy. However, there could be unique items that function differently, so I'm not completely ready to condemn this.
To physical damage. So a max level character can get about 40% damage reduction to physical damage through armor, and therefore a 20% reduction to elemental damage through armor as well. Now, I actually enjoyed the separation between elemental damage and physical damage, so this change I don't know if I like. Of course, it helps newer players to not die instantly to cold damage when they have zero resistance to it, but also that was sort of the fun of realizing that you need to go find equipment with cold resist. So this change feels a little bit catered more towards a casual player base, in my opinion.
It absolutely is, and I think that's a good thing. I don't think farming resistances is fun. Like, I understand that some people might enjoy it, and listen, I gain a little bit of fulfillment whenever I cap my resistances in Path of Exile every season, same as I think a lot of you guys do. But the truth is that I think that resistances in PoE kind of only work because they're not binary. Like, for example, you can go up to, like, I think it's 90% max all res. Or sorry, max res for, like, any specific amount. But like if for example the resistances you only had to get 75% and 75 couldn't go to 76 and it couldn't go to 74, I would think it's a completely useless stat and it could be taken out of the game and nothing would change. It's kind of like hit rating in WoW. I feel like hit rating in WoW had no value and was just stupid and it was bad for the game and there was nothing good that came out of it, and I felt the same way with expertise. The only place where I thought hit rating and expertise had any value was in dual wielding. I thought that if you weren't dual wielding, hit rating should not even be, it should not even exist. With dual wielding, I think it should though.
But again, we'll have to see how powerful armor is in the end for defending against elemental damage. The amount of defense items will provide is determined by a new system called item power, which will be shown on an items tooltip, so you can kind of figure out how much armor.
They don't want to call it item level, okay? Like, it's different. It's totally fucking different than item level.
Each of your items is giving you. Monsters are also going to have armor, and that's going to scale with their level, giving them that physical and elemental damage reduction. And I think a lot of players will be excited to hear that Diablo 4 will use the personal loot system. Loot is generated separately per player, so there's no stress when a world boss dies to be in melee range and just click as fast.
Huge advocate for this. This is a great change.
As you can to grab whatever dropped. Loot that you see drop will be yours every single time. Now overall, I think
as much as I would like to see things like this, like the social aspects of it, where like if you kill the boss you can maybe master loot it to the right person, fundamentally Diablo 4 is not an MMO. Everything that you do in Diablo 4 should be achievable solo. There should not be any bosses that take 5 people to kill, and you have to be really good at the game. World bosses are fine because they're fucking easy. They're just basically a checklist item. But fundamentally, Diablo 4 must, in my mind, function as a single-player game 98% as good as it functions as a multiplayer game.
Diablo 4 has a lot of exciting new takes on itemization and ARPG, and I'm actually really excited to test them out. Which new feature are you most excited about or most worried about? Let me know in the comments below. And that's all I have for you this time. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to give it a like, and you may want to watch this video shown up.
Evo, završio red 2.
Nije toliko dugačka igra kako ti misliš.
Boga mi, meni je ovo i predugo je.
Imaš, sad kad se vratiš u glavni meni, imaš, umjesto da staviš new game, imaš second kao route. Ili second
run, da.
Jest. I to ti je, znaš i onaj cinematik ako si ga pogledao, kad njih dvoje iskoče iz kola, jedno ode levo, drugo ode desno.
Pa?
Igraš sa drugim. Ako si igra recimo sa Claire sad, ono recimo...
Dobio sam neke kostime za Claire, nešto i nemam pojma nešto me dalo ispisao.
Dakle, imaš opciju da...
Evo, uopšte ne znam šta, našao sam neki kondenzator, neko govno, to uopšte nisam znao gde da upotrebim, jebote.
Kondenzator?
Da, neku sklopku koja mi onako kao služi kao kondenzator, jebote.
Ne znam o čemu pričaš. Da nije možda... Aha, to ti je upgrade, kondenzator za Spark Shot, pošto si igrao sa Claire. To ti je upgrade za oružje.
Za eksere ili...
Ne, nisu to ekseri, to ti je kao...
Dao sam mi neki cartridge sa ekserima koji...
To ti je taser. To ti je taser sa velikim tim kao ekserima koji su u suštini kao te kontakt igle, znaš. Tako radi. To ti je municija za Spark Shot. Nema je puno. Imaš možda 10-15 metaka i ne može se napravi. Toku čitave igre. Razumeš? Yes.
A, pa, šta radiš, bre, ženo?
Yes.
Dope.
A gde ste? Who are you? You, not me, you. Yes, I'm you.
I am you and you and me.
That's the question. Who are you? I have told you. Are you deaf? No, you is blind.
To mi je najjača provala u svim filmovima, Mikaj. I am you and you and me.
Ali kako...
Znači... Ljudi su mi išli od smeha.
Kako je neko izmislio... Taj ko je pisao to, ne znam ko je, brate, pisao. Kako mu je palo na pamet to, meni to nije jasno.
Je li si jedna mala?
Just say it.
Je li pičkice?
I didn't know what you...
Jebem li ti seme, tu je živo i sve što će ti se rodi.
Ovo je sisi.
Šta ješ? Daj s tobom, ne nadaj si, dobro.
Mešo, ko te diruje?
A ovdje neki išao, kako?
To kaku?
Sad ti je ne nadaj jebati.
Neki šikaku.
Koji ti kurac, ne nade!
Neki šikaki.
A šta ti to igraš, ne nade?
Diviziju 1.
Ta neko tamo hakuje, šta?
Da.
Šta, naš neki?
Ma nije naš.
Nego ga ti psuješ, ne naš.
A ne mogu da psujem na engleskom, engleski nema društvo.
A dobro, to što kažeš.
To i nema.
A što se... Jo, voda, čekaj! Evo, gledaj, zapali.
Guys, teleport.
Visse teleporte. Visse teleporte.
Alo?
Alo?
Jebate
Milane,
majku
ti
da
si?
malo da mi probiš.
Milane, ti si?
Ili si? Who is you? You.
I am you.
I am you.
Dobijemo bossa i dignemo direktno.
Are you blind? Are you blind? You is the blind.
Are you me?
O čemu se radi u ovome peđe?
Šta? Čemu?
U ovom snimku dobijemo bossa i dignemo direktno.
Ma radi se o vrate tome da su me spamovali mene, ubili, zapalili mi emulatora I izgorili mi...
Alright, listen. Doc is already live, Tim is already live, Tim is doing...
Zapale, ubiju ljudi, boss I on kaže, ajde...
I think Doc's playing solo duos, because he's got 34 teams left.
I zato je Snake to video.
Milan kaže na kraju, ajmo da kao ubijemo bossa, da kao dignemo Drakulu. Ja ih gledao sam ih, minus sam ih gledao pre toga.
Ne verujem. Ovaj dobije šok.
I dobio sam sve informacije, u tvrđavi su, nema bounty-a, ide Beniš, vi imate team fight nigde u pički materini, ti pokušavaš digneš kuma, kum histeriš, digni me! Već je trči kroz imaginarni oblak otrova koji je neko bacio s polja i taj oblak radi kroz zid. Jesam to vidio, jel tako? Dižeš kuma, dobijaš metak iz Winchesterke, bam, mrtav, kum pritrčava, niđe mozga, niđe pameti, dižete, da bi te ubije iste sekunde, ali iste sekunde si umro. Oni beka uspevaju da ubiju tipa i ti više nemaš helta koji...
Milan, brate, Milan ne znam gdje je.
Ne znam gdje je.
Ja odradim 100 ti je prestiš, ja prestanem s njime da igram hunt, zato što je Milanu postao hunt sve u životu. Mogu nenormalan čovjek, brate. Čovjek je zbog hunta bi nekom ne znam šta, brate, radio. Izgubiš meč jedan, ti si njegov najveći neprijatelj. To je on kako to gleda.
A što se gubi, brate Mili, mene napada, ja na drugom kraju compounda, ja sam mu zatvorio put, kaže. Ti bre prsu s mozgom, šta je s tobom, jel?
Ne, gotovo je, još malo trzevi hanta, mjesec, dva, još i... Znači, druga igra neka...
Brate, Mili, kako ovaj remake četvorke izgleda, evo, gledam ovaj demo, on nerealno su.
Jel ga gledaš ili ga igraš, šta je ta dva?
Igram. Da kupim, brate, Battlefield, opasno, brate.
Razmišljaj samo.
Ja skupo jebote na šta...
Ajde bre,
nije skupo ako ćeš igraš.
Koristi mi jedno ti moj nalog pa igraj.
A nije mi to.
Ne.
Hoću ja na svoj progres, brate, volim svoje. Znam da mogu i da platim i 3 evra ovaj play, brate.
A čekaj, ti si probao kad dok je bilo free, zašto misliš da je sad igra drugačija kad nije free?
Zato što je igra koju nisam igrao nova, a multiplayer ajde, gotivan. Grafika je lepa, ali bugovita, ima bugova, ali šta ćeš?
Battlefield 2042
Pogledaj...
Player base. Player count. Tišina.
Pogledaj ovaj lik.
Nisam zainteresovan.
Kako igra, kako kide.
Hunt Showdown ima više igrača.
Znam.
A ti znaš to? Alo? Alo?
Ima više igrača.
Alo?
Pogledaj ovo. Alo? Hunt Showdown ima više igrača nego Battlefield 2042.
Dobro, gledaj, za ovih 30 dana su dobili opet igrača zato što su dali popust.
Jesi ti čuo što sam ja rekao? Znaš kakva je igra Hunt, koliko je spora, koliko se ljudi kampuju, koliko je noob unfriendly. Razumeš? Znaš?
Ne, čekat ću drugi sale onda.
Ti ćeš džabe, me ti čuješ?
Neće džabe biti jebati kada Kec nije
bio
džabe.
Jel me ti čuješ? Jest.
Čujem.
Jest.
Dobro, bili su na Twitch Prime i jasno, ali...
Ne, bili su bukvalno džabe. Ili jedinicu ili peticu, mislim da sam uzeo free.
Ja sam
uzeo peticu.
I jedinicu i peticu sam pokupio free.
Free. Kupiš ti posle za 15 evra, razumeš, 20. Kupiš ti one DLC-eve, hvala Bogu nakačili su DLC-eva pun kurac.
Nisam mi to kupio.
Ja sam kupio za keca, čini mi se. Ili za peticu, zaboravio sam. Kupio sam kao tamo.
Za keci su poslije davali besplatno.
Dobro, ali kao što rekao, to je naš taktika. Kad izbaciš dovoljno... Kad izbaciš dovoljno DLC-eva, onda možda daš igru džabe. Isto tako Hunt Showdown ima toliko skinova da mogu da igru free.
Taka.
Jel tako?
Taka, znaš kako brate, Bugari kažu taka.
Neću da igram ovaj demo, samo se naložim a znam da neću kupiti za 42 evra.
Hoćeš ti Hanta ili ćemo poslije?
Hoću.
Nije to 42 evra. To je 42.
42 na CD.
A ne kupuješ ti CD.
Radio Ebola.
Ne kupuješ ti ključ.
Welcome to my channel.
Ti kupuješ uslugu čoveka koji će ti poslati ključ kad igra izađe. Razumeš? Kupuješ maglu. Ne kupuješ ključ uopšte. On ti neće poslati odmah ključ, nego će kao kad krene sale igre, on će ti poslati ključ.
Znači, na CD Kizu nikad me niko nije zajebao.
Dobro, ja ti kažem, sad čekaj da igra izađe, onda kupi ključ od tih sellera. Ili gledaj mene kako je.
Dead Space remake u pre-orderu isto na CD Kizu dobio je...
Ili gledaj mene kako igram, pa ako ti se svidi full verzija igre.
Šta ćemo Drakulović, hoćemo, a? Maki se online.
Pite slobodno. Koga god pite.
Oh, I did watch you streaming. Hello. And I just saw like a blank screen. And I was like, okay, there is no face cam, the game isn't turned on. You probably stopped streaming at that point. So, you know, I kind of scuffled myself out to the other channel, you know, to support somebody that's streaming currently. So, sorry about that. I kind of missed your stream. Yeah, that's a good explanation, I guess. I'll come.
Bori se. Gladna sam.
Tad je jela malo pre, to ne jela.
Kakve veze imaš je malo pre?
Super bila vrela.
Karlo je uvek gladan. Evo, opet mi radi update od minuti. Šta je bre ovo smo radi?
Šta ti radi, ja?
Meni nešto Windows drlja.
Meni svaki dan restartuje kompjuter.
Da uradim update Windows,
kad odem da spavam.
Svaki dan mi prijavljuje, ja sam isključio update u Windows.
Ja isto.
Zadnjih 5 dana, stalno mi, kad startujem Hunt, stalno mi neki update.
Ne,
mi Windows nešto
meni svako veče nađem kompjuter restartovan kao soft restart, nije ono pravi restart. Izgleda da mi izloguje i uloguje sam. Nešto u tom fazonu.
To i meni svaki 3-4 dana, i to u isto vreme, neko 3 ili...
Izgleda da Microsoft šalje neke
Mi se restartuje računar iz čista mira.
Neke gluposti u pozadini.
Šta mi je upaljeno, šta nije, te razumiš?
Da.
Ajde, ovo će trebati jedno 10-15 minuta.
Lagano, opušteno igrat ćemo, ako ne, igrat ćemo kasnije, nebitno je. Nekav cesak. Tu sam je.
Ma šta je Đukara? Đukara drukara.
SLG is requesting reinforcements. They say daybreakers are attacking from behind, headed toward the main gate.
SLG? Who's in charge of SLG? Idiot. No surprise you got...
To me uporno maltretira sa ovom ponudom za Windows 11, napuši mi se kurac.
Šta, pokušati proda ključ?
Ma nije, da ga ne treba da update na Windows 11.
Pa ne moraš to radiš ako nećeš. Pa jel imaš pop-up neki, možda isključiš to.
getting your attention. Done. Now, let's move to the trading part.
I'm good.
The ogre has some meaningless visions sometimes. Me interacting with you now seems to be one of these. And yet, the fact that it was accurate is what matters.
I need more power.
Za nisi igrao Division zadnji put.
Ja.
Ti.
Trigger.
Još uvijek se ne znam. Ok. Bar si se odletio od Tarkova.
Ne, pa postigao sam ono što sam htio u traju koji nema smisla još.
A teo si da napraviš bazu, šta?
Da.
Da bi ti vajpovali sljedećim updateom. Ne znam da li shvataš koliko uzaludno to zvuči. To sam ja sam premetao po glavi.
Htio sam i sve misije da isprelazim, ali nema smisla.
Bar si skontao da nema smisla.
Ne zbog vajpa, nego zbog hakera.
Nego zbog hajpa.
Dobro, kako zbog hakera? A to što ti pokušavaš da radiš specifičnu stvar, a neko trola, je to?
Ma, vidite kroz zidove, ubite iz neko nemogućeg ugla i tako to.
Ti recimo popiješ flašu vodke ili recimo bota iz rešeta ruku ti raznese i ti uzmeš popiješ flašu vodke i hoćeš da uradiš onaj zadatak gde treba da si ranjen i treba da...
Ne, recimo kad mi pocepala ruka i ti imaš kontuziju ili...
Da.
Kako to već, taj tremor.
Da, tremor, dobro. Baš tada neko počne da puša, ne?
Tad ne moraš recimo da popiješ taj viski, vodku i to. Malo ovaj put sam ga završio bez toga da pijem. Jesam mi oduzeo malo više vremena, ali jebi ga.
Je to neki preduslov da se uradi to da budeš pijan ili?
Nije. Samo mora imaš taj tremor.
Drhtavicu.
Znači da ti bude polomljena ruka.
Kao ono normalni Han Shodan, ono kad se trese kao prut ili to, nišani. Kao alkoholičari. Jebeno. Oj. Drugarice, ti si u duši mrtva ladna.
A što se čini? E sad, koliko ja da čekam ovo Guardian, ne znam da li da ga uopšte čekam.
Zašto ti rekao da ga čekaš za?
A za Hunt, ali radim u Windows update, tako da ne znam da li da palim Back 4 Blood.
Onda si Battlefield, da?
Ne, nisam. A nemam pare prisi.
Pare nisu problem. Ne. Pre nego što me dopunite. Vreme je problem. Ti nešto platiš, onda više nemaš vremena da se posvetiš tome. Dobar primjer za to. Kupiš...
Čekaj, stani, ajde primjer, reci.
Biciklo.
Dobro.
Kao Milan što je, kupiš biciklo, ali... Takve su ti obaveze da nemaš vremena da si ti vozikaš okolo.
A kako je obaveze on?
Ali on nema obavezu.
A ne, on ima obavezu, on mora da vežba. Mislim, zašto vežba za olimpijadu, dobro? On mora da vežba, dobro, mora svako jutro da ode na kafu. Zašto?
A upravo si, neke vrate stvari nepotrebno kupiš i...
Praviš sebi obavezu da obaveze ne postoji. Nije novac u pitanju je obaveza. Da je samo u pitanju tih 5-6 hiljada koje ćeš ti da daš, ili 1.500 dinara za taj bet. Ti sebi sad praviš obavezu da ti to moraš da igraš, da bi dobio vrednost. A prava vrednost...
Ne vidim što mora, koliko ja imam...
A prava vrednost je tvoje vreme, a vremena nema.
Kako ne, pa vidim da Milan ima vremena.
Nema ni on vremena, nema vremena.
Sasvim ispešno, nema se vremena.
Ne.
Milan ima svo vreme ovog sveta.
Nema, ako njega pitaš, on nema vremena za sve što njemu treba.
Jebi ga, radi se.
Ima se uvijek, brate, vremena. Ako hoćeš nešto da učiniš, ima. Dobro,
ako treba nešto...
Nema.
Nemaš vremena za sve što bi ti htjela, ajmo tako. Razumeš?
Ali ne treba ti vreme.
Vreme je ono što nemamo.
Imaš...
Za šta?
Imaš ti, brate, vreme, ali ako hoćeš da ga iskoristiš...
Evo, kupi sad, hoćeš da ti sad otvorim novčanik, da ti pošaljem kod za Bet 2042. Znaš kako ćeš ga igrati? Dok te ne pozove Gardi ili Milan ili neko da igraš Hunt s njima.
Solo ga neću igrati.
Da igraš Hunt s njima. Dotle ćeš ga igrati. Ako počne novi event... Da, reci svoj.
Što ja bi ga mi ne igramo toliko više istih igara. Samo Hunt što igramo zajedno.
Normalno, zato što smo se...
Ne igramo zajedno, ja ne igram istim Hunt.
Ti sa kim ne igramo.
To što je toksična igra i ne želim da kažem ljudima da se jebu ili da jedu govna i neću da me dižu, razumeš, kao kum što diže ljude da ga neko farma, ja neću to da radim.
Morao sam da restartujem kad sam kliknuo na ono da mi ne skida više, da mi ne skida 11-icu, tu je nešto poludeo, čuveni Microsoft.
Ej, to si sad baš morao kad ono igramo ti...
Ajde, strpi se 10 minuta, evo.
Još 10 minuta.
Instalira mi treći update, evo.
Moj kum i...
Ja dopalim CS malo...
Moj kum i Belada Milan, njih dvojice smatra da meč Hunta ne može da se reši bez njih ako oni nisu u životu. Ako oni ne igraju, te sekunde ne drže miš. Meč nije rešen, razumeš. Visi na koncu.
Ne ume da čuti...
On mora biti kao u životu, makar s 50 HP-a, to što će ga ubiti kad ga vide, dezintegrisat će ga sa Winchesterkom. On misli da će neko da je neko lud, da mu on pretrči u 10 metara, da ga izbode sabljom ili da ga kao one shotuje dvocepom, ni to ne znam da uradio, nema veze. Dok ljudi su u stanju da te Derringerom ubije, razumeš, pojedini. Derringerom, kamo ni nožem za bacanje. Već da te može headshot od nožem za bacanje. On od zebanci. I to tipa da ti neko trči kao Milana, razumeš, na tebe, a znaš da si ga ubio 2 puta i čovjek kreće na tebe da ti izbode recimo bomb lens. Pa bili izvadio sekiru za bacanje nož i ono bacio. Možda ti se ne bi setio iste sekunde, ali bili možda da imaš 9 sekunde vremena kao ok, prazno mi oružje. Pa da, ono kao možda je mogao da bacim nož. Bili probao. A znaš recimo da je ono pečen. A oni ne misle tako, oni smatraju da sa 50 hit poena oni su heroji svi. Kad te jednom obali ili 2 put, Hunt ne igra i ljudi, razumeš, koji ne znaju, razumeš da Niša drži tastaturu, Call of Duty publika. Ljudi koji koriste auto, aim i pomagala. Ljudi koji znaju da Nišan. Znači koliko ja zezam Guardia i sve to, on zna da na Nišani. Ako ima vremena da na Nišani i da ono, igra ga ne izlaguje, on zna da pogodi, to dobri headshot. Ali igra se ne ponaša lepo i to ono što on ne može da skonta. Kako? Pukao sam ga. Igra je sranje, kodirana. Zato pola metaka ne završi gdje ti puca. Što pre shvatiš, to se manje nerviraš. Izvinjavam se. Mnogo sam salty. Nije na mene.
Salty, pravo si.
Imam 5.500 sati da budem salty. Hvala. Kad dođete na 5.500 sati, javite mi se.
A što je, nije?
Toxic. Malo pre sam uzeo pasiv koji se zove Toxic. Ne, zeban se, piše play... Piše pazi, piše Plague Bringer. Plus 15%
Jesi, ti si malo toksik, znaš?
Pa znam.
Očiste si toksik.
Hvala. Take that as a compliment. Od tebe, kompliment. Nema nešto.
Što je dobro to malo biti toksik.
Nešto kad je smeće igra u pitanju.
Aj što mi radi.
Pa mi dušu vadi.
Ja dođem da igram Hunt sa ovim, još se do ono, brate, govori.
Je li on odšao popije sok?
A ovaj je otišao da update-uje Windows.
Da sipa sok.
Znači...
To je novi mir. Treba neko da napravi...
Neću više da se dogovoram. Ajde bre. A se zaigrao, sad izgubi volju.
Kumulativni update u pičku tvoje Windowske materine.
To si mogao uveče.
A nije, zato što mu se dešava bukvalno, usred neča vratno mu izbaca pop-up prozore, da. To zna jako da nervira. Te izbaci u Windows ili da klikneš na određeni deo onoga UI menija i da ti miš...
Je ovaj net framework i sad neki kumulativ update je došao do 100 pa krenuo ponovo i sad je na 44, jebote više. Kardirano govno od Windowsa. Najgluplji sistem.
Što ne instaliraš Unix? A Unix ima jako ružan interfejs. Ima dobrih distribucija. Generalno je ružan.
Comandante Che Guevara. Che Guevara je...
Che Guevara, možda si po ciganski da pričaš, jel?
Che Guevara?
Che Guevara. Che Guevara, brate.
Che Guevara.
Che Guevara. Što je Cigo nazvao sina, a dobro zna to je fazan, jeli? Što je Ciga nazvao sina Drogan. Ciga pročitao onaj reklamu, onu, igraj za život Drogane. Drogan.
Droga, a?
Droga ne.
Pušiš drogu, a?
A tamo 76. 7. je bila popularna neka indijska serija Sandokan.
I Ljevisna. I Cassandra.
Daj, baci me.
Znaš ti šta je cigana davalo ime deci Sandokana?
Sandokan MC.
Zato daj, baci mi na to. Isto i bila je tad popularna serija, ona Meksička.
A to ti je generalno nomadski narod, razumiješ, oni kako se osjećaju u tom trenutku, tako radi. Ako sam dobro dao ocenu.
A to je isto priča ko sad Južni sad priča 2000, kada 7, 8 godina.
Kum je teo da priča sa mnom, ali sam mu rekao da ne želim da razgovaram s njim, može da me zove na 069714622. Pošto je bio...
Nemoj da daješ Snake broj, brate.
Ne, mislim, zna dobro.
Dana ako, brate, budeš
boli me
popularan.
kurac, i onako se ne javlja na telefon.
Ima da ti spamuje...
I onako se ne javljam na telefon, o čemu pričaš tu. Zato što je jučer bio bezobrazan. Ja ne dajem...
Bio nije. On je uvijek tako rola.
Ja rekao sam mu nek ide, nek zabavlja Milana svojim doskočicama, meni ne interesuje.
Znači ima i toga, a?
Ima i toga. Da ga ne bi oterao, da ne kažem gde, da bismo ostali civilizovani tako to. Najbolje je da pričamo ili uživo ili telefonom.
The Night Vig Reverend Mother Prava, a truly dutiful servant, making sure to clearly spaces for this character to be. And if Vigo's outfit and skill set wouldn't look right at home in any of those art depictions, then I don't know what would. Just to prove that this isn't some kind of wild crackpot theory, let's look at how he literally...
Ali igra poslije mjesec, 2-3 moris.
Niste ni jednu partiju toga odbiti.
A dobro, ti si igrao Warzone, zato brate, igrao si Kec, zato ti dvojka sranje, zato što je ista igra brate. To je ista igra, samo malo...
Riskinuo.
I evo, ja sad držim zbog tebe instalirano to, što mi pre 2 nedelje nagovorio.
Isto kao Overwatch, Overwatch je Overwatch 2.0, nije Overwatch 2.0, to je Overwatch 1.2.
Evo, završio install, moram restart sad.
Ajde. Samo sutra ćemo negdje igrati.
Oni će tebi to uzmi da predaju. A više na kraju kako se zove ovo.
Vidjeli da ne mogu da završi, onda su rešili da kao daju džabe. Ljudima koji već imaju prvi deo, tako?
Da.
Znači nije besplatno, opet moraš da kupiš prvi deo.
What?
A šta se čini?
Opet ja, anti-Blizzard, dobro. Nije tu Singularity.
Nine šta?
Znaš kada spamuje ovaj Hitler? Nine.
What you say but mama? What you say but mama? A znaš što rekao ti je to? Onaj film. Nemoj da se kurčiš dok piješ sok u komšiluku. To je pun naziv filma. A inače mislim da je domaći prevod gangsteri iz geta ili takva nešto, zaboravim se, sranje neki naziv. Ali mislim da je pravi naziv filma Don't dick around while you drink juice in the hood. To su ti ona braća, kako se zovu, oni crnci, oni komičari. Braća Wyatt ili... Oni glume u onome Scary Movie, čini se.
Znam. Oni što sa Ice Cube'om isto glume onaj.
Ja, oni su ono...
Boji su ono, znam, komedije.
Duhoviti, znaš, zato što...
A i glumi i one horror komedije.
Da, meni je smiješno zato što oni rade tu kao... kako to kažu, overacting. Znaš, preterana, naglašena gluma, razumeš. Kad je neko uplašen, razumeš, bukvalno digne ruke, ono, znaš, oči mu se rašire, ono, kao kosa mu se digne na glavi, razumeš. Vidiš po njemu, razumeš da se ustra, znaš. Ništa suptilno tu nije. Ne moraš da gledaš kao u Game of Thronesu, da tumačiš kao šta glumci misle po intonaciji, razumeš, njihovih rečenica.
Šta radi ovdje?
Jesi li čuo, Nenade, ovo je usmjereno za Nenade, jesi čuo za suptilno čitovanje? Očigledno čitovanje, ajde uzem za primjer Hunt Showdown. Kad te neko ubije iz vazduha ili kroz 3 zida sa spicer municijom sa 150 metara distance, sa optikom. To ti je, ono, očigledno cheat, razumeš? Nemoj da kažeš da je skill ili lucky shot. Kroz 2-3 zida kad te ubije.
Skill.
Skill, shit. A imaš suptilno čitovanje, opet ću da uzmem za primjer Hunt, mogu da ti kažem onaj Dead by Daylight, ali niko ovdje ne igra Dead by Daylight, tako da žele prošli meč. Kad neko ima samo informaciju gde si ti. Znači ima ESP i dovoljno je samo da vidi gde si. Sve ostalo, možda mu i ne treba cheat, možda jednostavno igra dobro.
Dovoljno da se oni vidi poziciju.
Da zna gde su svi na mapi. I prema tome možda se kreće ili može da oceni koji je najbolji plan. To je sasvim dovoljno, ako znaš da igraš igru. Samo ti informacija treba. Treba ti tačan položaj, naoružanje, ako
pa
si...
Ja da koristim ESP, ja bi non stop imao 6 zvezdica, non stop.
Šta tačno? Čekao bi ljude da izađu na prozor zato što se muju oko prozora, da ga headshotuješ iste sekunde kad se repaju na prozoru ili bi ga pustio da par puta izviri da ga onda ubiješ.
Ti ja i mater.
Znači kao što rekao, imaš suptilno čitanje, imaš očigledan čit.
Malo čisto, nisi jebote pod ugovorom, red. Da. Milić Aleksa, Hunt Showdown.
Zovi kum.
Da, vidim, ako hoćeš. A tu je kum.
A tu je kum? A, gdje si kume? 069714622. Kad završiš sa vicevima koje pričaš Beki o meni kako ja igram kukavički i ne poštujem tim, onda mi se javi. Kad sam ja to rekao? Juče? Sjeti se kad si rekao gluposti.
Opet mu broj kaži.
069 714 622. Pre toga kucaš 381. To ti je regionalni kod za Srbiju, znaš, planeta Zemlja.
Dobro, okej. Što? Šta je bilo?
Prije si pomislio vama da ga sjebo, a?
Ne. Nisam mislio... Prvo, nisam mislio što se tiče kola, nego majstora. Može biti majstor za veš mašinu, može biti majstor za sudoperu, može biti majstor za šteke, može biti za struju.
Stabilno slučić.
Kola, jebote. To i Nenade. Ono si Nenade.
Da li kad kažemo majstor mora biti majstor za auto, jeste upravo.
Pa...
Ne mora da se podrazumijeva, apsolutno.
Kaka kola, bet?
Ko je lud danas da vozi kola? Ako mu ne treba. Viš, ja da mogu, ja bi konje kupio.
Jeftinije, zdravije, bolje.
Jest da konja moraš da raniš,
Čujemo
ali...
se, hoćemo danas igrati.
Bože moj.
Hoćemo,
danas,
evo.
a?
Evo,
Hoćemo.
evo.
Sigurno?
Evo, 100%.
Ja sam mislio treba još jedan igrati.
A mislim koliko bi ti trajao Last of Us da nisu imali konje.
Treba update Google.
Ne,
završili bi odmah.
Ne bi Joel daleko stigao, znaš. Ili da moraš pješke da bežeš od infektera, znaš.
Opa, ima i toga. Šta radi? Šta radi?
Pleksuju se novci, ja?
Da zovemo Makića.
Ej, a ovdje čekaj da ide da zove, da vozi Dunju nešto, pa ne može se. To što mi 2 puta staviti.
Ajde kume standard.
Ajde, kume, neću ja ništa da pričam, samo igra. Jest da si me isprozivao i da si bio svinja, ali nema vezi. Prašta ti.
Dvije.
Pošto si ti u pitanju, to su 2 ili 1.
A možda i 3.
Pošto po 3 sekundi traju mečevi. S kumarom.
Mara digne galamu.
Opali saperkatom jedan put u taj compound dolazi čitav server.
Serevere.
Serevere.
Serevere, aj.
Serevere.
Da mi pošalješ, ne znam šta si uradio.
Dobro. Znamo.
Stvarno, Drakula, sram te bilo. To je svinja, što podriguješ?
Jebik, imam i ja dušu, majko.
Svinja.
Kako možeš da dišeš?
Ali najgora stvar što se neki ljudi prave fini, a žive, da ne kažem, u selu, a ja koji sam kao Beograđan, a ja nisam Beograđan, ja se ne vodim s tom, ja sam običan.
Građanin Republike Srbije, da plaći porez.
Čekaj, što je izjavio, nisi ga čuo?
Ne, izjavio sam zbog kuma, Nenade, nemoj ti da se uvrate tome, nego pričam njemu. I brate bolje.
Čekaj.
Ne, nije gospodin, gled budale. Ne, slušaš ti ovo.
Bolje da ne čujem.
Šta si rekao, nisam da čuo kaj izjavio.
Kažem za kuma, pošto se buni kako ja, brate, podrigujem kako ovo, a on je gospodin čovjek, znaš. Nebitno, nego ti se, brate, ponašaš ko da si popio svu, brate, pamet ovog svijeta. Ne, misliš ti... pa, brate, ja nemam blama, razumeš? Ima da, brate, rigam, ja sam seljak, ja sam u, brate, duši čovjek, brate, normalno. Neka sam, ne, to je ljudsko, brate.
Pa čekaj, kad podrigneš, šta se onda desi,
Pa ne znam, kum, onda prstu, brate, tebe od strane gospoda, pošto on, znaš, kao, on je gospodin, a živi tamo dalje, znaš, u, brate, Lovčinac, a ti si Peđa kao... A ne, nije, brate.
Ali što bi to radio?
Što bi? Zato što mi više prija ovako izbacim. Znate, ja sam kume, ne razumijem.
Zato što...
Opustim se.
Evo još.
To, Boris, eto, i što ti čist primjer kako Beograđani nisu gospoda. Ja, na primjer, prvi kažem bre za sebe da sam kulturan. Šta je s tobom? A ti si umislio da si neki kulturan,
Kulturan? Kulturan! Jel se sećaš kako je jeo smoki jebeni ili čips pre neki dan? A šta pričate?
Ovako je bilo.
Čekaj, nemam ništa da jedem, tako razumeš. Da, jede. Nikako da mu kažemo jebote, pa ajde pojedi više, ajde. Završi s time. Ne. I onda ti podrigneš i životinjo jedna, svinjo jedna, kako te nije sramota, ba. Bože, šta je što? Šta je što?
A evo, moguće ovo.
Pinac, naš pinac.
Pinac je svinjski.
Da, ne kultura je. Ključne kulture.
Kultura moja.
Slikaću ti ga sljedeći put. Slikaću ti ga sljedeći put kad bude sede u boksericama, kad mu dođe kum u gost.
Nemam ja nikakvu
Da.
Nije glupo da se niš u gaćama.
Dok ti gosti dolaze.
Ajde, dok. Ima sensu djecu.
Mali srama u tebi.
Stok. Ne ideš u gaćama pred ženom djecu, stok.
Jo, majko. Šta? Brate, najgora stvar što se ti praviš fin.
Nisi, ti si isti seljak koji si mi. Isti jebeni seljak. Najgori.
Šta je? Ajde, ponovi, šta? Ne radim ja da bi tebi iritirao, brate, šta je s tobom?
Oprosti što dišem. Oprosti, molim te. Oprosti. Probat ćemo da ne dišem u tvom prisustvu.
Ja ću majke mi počet ću da, brate, ne pričam s tobom, ni sa, brate, Bekom. Brate, završit ću priču. Isto taka priča je bila zbog, brate, Gardija, ono, brate, i ono, brate, mi smo se, brate, posvađali zbog gluposti, zbog sprdnje. Ti, ono, nema poente. Ovdje, brate, čovjek ne sme da se opusti i da se sprda. Ja se sprdam, jebote, nisam ozbiljan. A, sprdam se pod igrijem. Ne, brate, to je normalno, jebote. Šta je s tobom? Gdje ti živiš, brate?
Gdje je on odrastao? Gdje je on odrastao?
Slušaj, to nije normalno za vas koji pratite trend, koji gledate zadrugu i to sve, jasno mi je to. Da, nebitno. Ali ja sam seljak, ja sam niko i, brate, ništa tvoje, brate, meni to prija i ja to, brate, radim. Ne sviđam ti se, oni me škurca.
Moj teča, tetka moj teča francuska, prdne ili podrigne za vreme ručka, on kaže pohvala kuverica.
Eto. To ti je, evo ti čovjek,
čist primjer. To ti je bon tom tamo, francusku Austriju.
Objasnio ti je sad sve.
On mrtav vladan kaže pohvala kuverica.
A ja, pa to jeste, pa to je, brate, normalno.
U Japanu isto, kad se poriđeš, znači da je hrana dobra.
Čekaj, ti sad, tebi je pun nos, eto ti primjer, i ti sad ne smiješ da isprazniš, brate, nos. A, seljaku, prazniš, brate, nos, šta, ne radi? To je isto to. A ne.
Mislim da on pokušava da kaže da mi treba da ustanemo, da izađemo napolje, na ulicu, gdje niko ne gleda i onda to onako da nabijemo majicu preko glave, razumeš da niko to ne vidi i ne čuje.
To da, onda ne smiješ ni brate dišati.
Ako imaš goste i prikenja ti se, znaš, da je najbolje da izađeš na ulicu ispred na trotoaru da se iskenjaš jer će u WC-u da se osjeća jedno 10 minuta govno, a gosti će onda kažu gled stoka, iskenjao sam u svom WC-u.
Da, strašno.
To je to, sad si definiciju kupovao,
Šahmat.
To sam ja trebao.
Najbolje izađeš
na
trotoar
ispred
i onako obriši ipak dupe i stavi papir da ljudi znaju da je tu mina, da ne stanu, znaš to, da.
Malo kulture, da.
Kovarce ispred, budi malo kultura.
Ali ipak nemoj to, nego budi još, brate, kulturniji, uzmi kesu i sve to prebaci u, brate, kesu, a kesu ne smiješ da, brate, baciš u ono kontejner, ne.
Nosi je sa sobom,
Ne, vrati u nas, i kaži, evo, bio sam kulturan, iskenjao sam se napolje, pokaži svima govno.
Pokaži, da. Ja sam kulturan, evo.
Ljudi su ovdje.
That can't be done.
Jo, nasmeja me idu kurac. A ovo je show, već. Ironworks. Ajmo tamo.
Rock.
Čekaj, pazi na konje. Sad ću ja da ga sjebem. Ko je digao to konj? Neko je s desne strane forta, be. Ovaj konj je mrtav. Već.
Eno ga, penje se na kulu ovdje.
Dobro. Jao, brate. Jeste, pucaš se
na mene,
300
gleda u
metara.
mene, čoveče.
A nije pucao. Stavano da nam vode poziciju.
Hitovan.
Nisi trebao dati. Dobro su te kerove. Završio komu.
Opet
Opa,
mrtav.
Nije, mrtav je.
Hedara. Ne može s tim govnecom, jel?
Sprinkle opet.
Gdje si gubio točno?
Ja, kakav sprinkle. S desne strane vidim ga, leži, evo, ovdje.
Ujebat.
Ček, sad ti pingujem, na stepenicom. Gle. Tu mu leži leš. Eno ga i drugi desno od njega.
Titan, idemo rašan.
Već dalje, bacit ću mu toga.
Ne.
Na stepenicom.
Hvala.
It's not possible. Not happy.
Ćemo sad čekati da priđe neko, niko nije umra, tako? Sigurno? Ovdje su dva tima, tako? Ja sam vidio više, brate, leševa tu. Čekaj, vidim. 3 leš.
Prileš, a?
Prileš! Ili ja.
Što Vlad? Sam izglasio.
Zašto uvijek kada kažem leš, oj urla i leš, poslije će ga samo na i leš.
Ali kako on to drekne u deliću sekunde?
Ko onako đavo, brate. Kako on njega, brate, voli, On njega sanja, on je njemu inspiracija sve.
On je njemu idol.
Boga mi ne znam zašto ne dolazi kod mene. U samoj dom.
Pa zato što si ga lepo
Zato što sam ga ispratio kao čovjek.
Zato što si ga za Božić postao ko kući napolje.
Tepih sam u prostorom. Jel' tako, Pezi? Tepih sam u prostor izađe.
Na šta on kaže? Sva sreće pa je Božić bio, neću na Božji dan.
No, ja sam mu rekao.
Iskleperao bi ga ja.
Ne, rekao sam mu, slobodno ti mene istuci. Više u životu ne moram pričati.
Rekao je da bi te istražirao.
Ma to mene ne interesuje.
Pa bi onda njemu bilo 6 puta skom.
Mora bi tako da proda antenu, da plati još. Tako bi mi bilo. Ne, zašto bi se ja tukao? Kad može da mi budala plati.
Zbog AMD uzao sekiru visoko ga na komadu.
Nije u pitanju AMD, u pitanje je što neko ne zna da se ponaša.
Vidiš Snake-a,
Nije to,
locked out.
nije to.
Ulazi kod ovaj Đika mori u buyingu. Daj mi
Ne,
taj
sadržaj.
mori u selling.
Sadržaj nije u pitanju AMD. Pitanje što neko ne zna se ponaša.
Nego što on,
Princip je u
ja,
pitanju.
moje ja.
Nije ni princip, nisam ja nešto super principijalan, nego...
drugi, to je ono. Znam ja to, pa znam, igram s njim Hunt, znam.
Moraš malo da misliš na druge ljude, razumeš? Ne mi svi ujaka, tetka, dedu, babu, razumeš, da im kupuje stvari. Bez brige u životu, razumeš, kao on. Nemam ja to. Ja sve svoje plaćam. Račune.
Kume!
Jo, vidi ovo, brati. Gledajte sad kako se, igram...
Mačke i miš.
Gledaj ovo sad. Ovo je do jaja.
Da vidim.
They see me rolling, the hating... A, ne! Ujebot.
Razbit ćeš se.
Već sam se razbio.
Evo, baka je pokupila bantu.
Čekaj.
Kume, ti mene mutirao ili me čuješ?
Mutirac. Čim počne da podriguješ...
Možeš li me odmutirati, pošto igramo zajedno u Huntu, nećemo podrigivati.
Ja ću podrigati za tebe, nemaš problem.
Alo, kume.
Moj kum ti isto jako principijalno.
Sad ću mu baciti Hellfire na njega, jebeš mi mater.
Your patronage is appreciated.
A?
Vidi, koji ti kurac je ovdje?
Ovo čovjek.
Alo bre, retardinjo, ajde odmutiraj me, ne možemo igrati mutirani bre.
Podsjeća me na beku, znaš. Kad je trčao za mnom i vikao, odmutiraj me, ti je ono, brate, mute u igri.
Kao kasetnu te igre.
Lud. Apsolutno me ne interesuje šta priča.
Dobro, naravno, vi ste dugo igrali Hunt, onda se to prosjećamo. Evo, ovi dolaze po nas, hoćete da ih čekamo?
Da.
Ajde.
Aj, kaži on da me odmutira, ludak, pre neću da igram mutiran.
Vrate, mutiraj ga već.
Ivanoviću, odmutiraj ga.
Kurca moga.
A ga Dinovačkog.
Matorov. Da.
Ne moraš kume, ja s tobom ne moram da pričam. 069
Jeste, ja sam podrigivao, a sada igramo i trebalo bi da imamo komunikaciju, odmutiraj me, konju.
Pa me mutiraj posle.
Peđa.
My job is done.
Jebote, Predrag.
Pred, rad.
Look! Reinforcements are all leaving towards South G! What the hell is going on back there?
Sad ovo se zove muda. Jeste zapalili neko od ovih? Isto. Nemojte.
Daj.
Prilaze. Jasno. Lebel. Naježio sam se odmah. Umre. Diži ga. izdršao čovjek? Ko je unutra? Ko je u... To si ti kao pička unutra. Maći tu u stepenicu. A jebote, nemoj tako sporo. Mati ga čovjek, ništa. Reload. Nahilaj se. Žica, zatvore vrata! Šta je džiđara? Ne možeš ništa.
Medic! Where's the bloody medic? Stay with me.
No boj, ti igraš solo, brate, nećemo ovako igrati. Ti unutra, ja i ovaj napad. Šta radi kumar? Kako su ti je... flankovali ti bombu, brate. Ispala je tačno gdje ti treba biti. Idem. Ajde, onako si igra solo. Šta pa jebeš ti to, bret? Jeee!
Where are our reinforcements? What are the orders?
Old plus 2.
Ajmo da dobijemo neki meč. Gdje ćemo uveče da sluši. Boris, imamo nekoga ili ćemo dosti?
Surrender your rock.
Što čekam da predam naši.
I need more power.
Auto personality.
Oh, the monarchs have your attention. They must stop this laying down. When stop.
Ciao.
Nema 150 lat.
I'm being overwhelmed.
That's not happening.
In your dream. Auto personality. Sekundu, ja prodam sva oružja da bi kupio Nitro Express, da bi to bilo kako treba, razumeš?
Nitro!
Je Nitro.
Ogena.
Spektra.
Euro nitrogena.
Pare imamo do galene. Ima sve prodaje. A ubrat. Šta sad će Nitro Express i doći? Malo skupi gir.
Dol.
Neki mi.
Dol.
Znaš što kupi gir?
Auto 5. 9. 10. U internetaru.
Incoming! Fire! 3 shells left! Where's the supply line?
O, pare. Da, šimo ih jako. Doć. I sad doćem. Stavili. Sad reći. Ej, sad reći. Jo, izvini, stani, stopiraj. Sam dao da imam... Imam Quartermaster, pa mogu doći precision.
Misliš, Mauser C96. Retardirani kretek, jebena nemačka firma koja nema para da plati developeru nema para da plati licencu za jebenu pušku. Ne samo oni. Si igrao onaj Activision, onaj Warzone si igrao. Nijedna puška ti se ne zove kako treba. Nije Colt M4, nije AK-47 ili automat Kalašnikova, ne, nego Kastov. Kastov šta? Chris Vector, nije Chris Vector, nego je, kako se ono zove, retardirano. Ajde, ona igra koju ti si igrao, Apex Legend. Većina oružja liči samo na neke puške, ali nijedna nije zapravo tako. Apex Legend. A većina oružja je fiktivna. Isto kao, zamisli da igraš Counter Strike, da ti ne piše AK-47, da ti ne piše Style Out, nego da ti piše ZK-35, umjesto AK-47. Šta bi rekao?
A šta je tamo kalaš? BK-47.
Pa dobro, imaš...
Vitali Kalašnikov.
Ne.
VK što neće. VK.
Ne, VZ, da nije VZ.
A VK bre čoveče, čuješ što ti ja pričam?
VK.
Da.
Counter Strike.
Ne Strike u ovom Apexu bre.
Aha, okej, to je druga stvar. Ja rekao da mi kaže Counter Strike.
Da, VK. No ti je kalaš, ali onaj svemirski kalaš. Samo kalaš, samo...
Igra nema veze s ravnošću, tako da to je već druga stvar. Hančodan je alternativna sadašnjost, da razumeš. Zašto Dodge? Zašto ne C96, bez uopšte mauza? Za šta? Niko nema para da kupi jednu licencu. A onaj hrvatski... Hrvatski skan, da znaš. Platila im je fabrika da naprave licenciranu pušku, znaš, kao džabe reklamu. Znaš to? Da, hrvatska ona fabrika Springfield.
Tako su tužili baš zbog tih imena pušaka i toga.
A sad ćete u Tarkovu dobiti isto imaginarno oružje, tako?
Treba ukinuti klope igre.
Kao te puške što se pravi to liči na neko što pravi fabrika, bla.
A nisu realne statistike, jel to?
Njima se to ne sviđa da se njihovo oružje reklamira. I svi ljudi su divni.
Ne sviđa im se. Koji deo reklame im se ne sviđa?
Svi im kažu to ne besplatna reklama što se
gubi. I kažu vidi ga, debeli živi.
Lik je čak i sliku pušku da je kupio zbog tako.
Ozbiljno? Znači, toliki je...
Pa ne, imaš u Americi ljudi koji su gun natovi. Znači možda kupiš oružje na kesku.
Imaš čak, ja sam vidio ti pušaka i to. Što mi u Evropi ne možemo imamo.
Meni je smešno kad je korona bila, pa ovi crnci svi otišli, ispraznili gun shopove, umislili da će da im oružje nešto pomogu.
Ne stane.
A očekivali su da će bude neki survival.
A da, to.
Survival horror. Resident Evil.
Da, si igraš Back 4 Blood. Pa mitketa. Jebem li ti mater i tebi.
Tu je bosište.
Da.
Gde je pčela retardirana evo?
Okej, ona ti napad. Gore. Gasi sijalicu. ću da ga završim. Još, agrovanje. Otišao je gore. Jao, gardi, ako se bude zapalio, ubit ću te. Greyhound.
Uzete, nego imam municiju ovdje. Ej, baca neko nešto.
Nitro.
Sam ga dokačio, bar dinamit.
Can't manage that right now. I can't do that right now.
Idiot! You stupid like a shit. Molim?
Još neko, pazi leđa.
Beži da...
It's not possible.
Vidio sam lika South East.
Gdje sam ja? Znam ni kako je pretrčao. Zombi ili ljud?
A čovjek čuo se i pucao je, ima prigušiv trč tu negdje. Evo ga dole ispred.
Ah. A zombi je ovamo pored gore čini. Lude. Mogu to mi. To su mi 2 metra. Možda mi kažeš gdje?
Jedan je ovdje, jedan je tu bio. A tu zombi.
Paliko. Aj jeba sam ti, jeba. Peši, ajde.
Hitova. A da, jebem ti mater! Nafenira me.
A zato što znaš da će da te čeka.
We're almost at the wall.
Polako.
Hitova sam ga, teo sam da ga...
Da. Ja sam išao polako, znam.
Teo sam ga prekoljem, ali jebo me.
Ajde, tu sam ja.
Nema ništa, a?
Tu je Đape doktor. Nema ništa.
Tako imam 4 leša.
Ima, pa da, izucalo sve, pa i meni trebaju sekunde.
Your patronage is appreciated.
Socijalu imaju od oružja.
Pa ne mogu svi da budu bogati. Nemoj si bogate prijatelje.
Ne, nisu svi bogati ko ja. U stvari, ja sam najveća sirotinja.
Kad kažem nemoj si bogate prijatelje, znaš kome je to... Da.
I can't do that right now.
Da potrošim ovaj... Dodge. Čekaj samo, pa dođi. Čekaj samo. Lovio. Čekaj. Može, zašto ne bi moglo? Ne treba dok sam bačio, ovaj lik gori. Neće niko to da mi nosi meča. Samo zapalim to.
Da si zapalio pištolj.
I nitro i dok.
Flex.
To je flex. Dođeš, baciš oružje.
Kupiš oružje, kad ga ispucaš, baciš ga i zapališ. Da ne može niko da uzme.
To samo ja radim.
Ne, to bi ja uradio.
Da.
To bi ja uradio isto. Što da naružavam ljudi.
Napolje šta da radim.
Tebi služi za jednokratno. Dok ima municije, dobro je, kad nema municije, baci.
I šta ima? Ja ti imam smrdi bubu, vamo moram da je... izbacim.
Gde? U stanu?
Ma da, a nisu samo u stanu, u ovoj kući sam. Pre sam bio u brate, stanu pa su mi zvali komunalnu.
Policiju.
Wow.
A wow. A i ti sam znaš ne rade koliko sam nenormalan kad da se igra ko ovaj Milan. Jerem, urlam sebe. I onda koji će mi to kurac? A ne, isplati mi se da stavljam kartonska jaja po...
Po zidima da lepiš.
A još mi samo košulja treba, ona i to je to.
Košulju ćemo odminjati košaljima.
Može. Ove, brate, flačeti su za double, barrel do jaja, brate. Headshot daješ koji iz pičke.
Alright, it's time for us to make the sorceress. Let's do it.
Viš kada si igram normalan meč, a ne dođe kum. troluje mi tu.
Try hard mod.
Pa ne troluje, bre. Ja mi troluje, jeba. Si skinuo mnogo. Koliko sam ti skinuo? Jeli? Koliko sam ti skinuo? Više ništa.
Ma ništa. Ni pola.
Ali zato radi headshot na ove igrače. Da je neko drugi bio da bi headshot. To je ono što je u ovoj igri, ono, nebitno koje oružje imaš ako daš headshot.
To je jako dobro sam.
A ne igraš Warzone, spucaš sa...
M16. M16, 3 metka u glavu, 3 metka u glavu čovjek kao polomio si mu armor.
3 metka čita, brate.
E, a nije si mogao boter ubiješ se oni malinke oši. Poslije nije bilo šanse.
Ona jaka su, jel to?
Da.
Mogo si. Sad već ne radim ni imenu postaviti.
E, ovo je još bolji flex sad uzem ono što sam tako još.
That's absolutely.
Ovako, uzet ćemo.
Ubit ćemo, zgazit ćemo.
Šta je?
Ne znaš, gdje ti pesmica?
Rasistove drak. Sva.
Šta me čeka sutra na posao? 7 časa. 7 časa. Ja radim 7 sati.
Ne, ovo je u stvari veći flex.
A beži.
Ovako se flex.
Meni bi taj tvoj posao nego ko gledališ na.
Šta da piješ kafu svako jutro, vrba si.
Jer je naočno.
Ja rekao Milano slučaj.
Aj daj, evo šta mi pušta ova glupa igra, jebote.
You have to break free now.
Evo me, seo sam sad.
Jel našao meč?
Jeste. Ti pukao igra.
Power.
Reconnected. Puka puška.
Če puška.
Behind. Švaba. Šta ću ja s ovih 2 dolča i sa Nitron Expressom? Ko će da okusi to oružje u ovom meču?
Ja, sad si zato, pukne mi igra. Ja se rekonektujem, on ušao u compound i mlati se sa dvojicom, jebi ga. A meni nije učiti teksture, ja ih vidim, ono kako lebde. A imao Coldwell sa Full Metal Jacketom i pucam grudini, ubijem linka i drugog dokačim, međutim zombi me ubije, što nisam znao šta me lupa, pošto totalno mi ništa nije bilo učito.
Ne, ništa ti nije bilo učito.
Malo dobijam udarce, a ne znam odakle, znaš, i Nenad mi viče udarate zombi, a ja ne vidim jebote.
To im je loš sistem, taj reconnect, baš je užasan da ti to
ali ladno sam i drugog lika roknuo.
A znam, ali to se dešava kada si reconnect.
Ali onda odeš, upališ, čekaj sad da mu objasnim, upališ igru i odeš Alt F4.
A
ponovo
ozbiljno, ja
pobjediš.
kod ja to nisam znao.
I
Pa
to
sranje igra,
fiksem.
zašto bi ja to, brate, radio drugi put?
A jebi ga.
A, zato kažem sranje igra, sranje taj Reconnect, brate, sistem. Zato što nije Reconnect sistem, nego je smeće. Znam. Znam ja, Nenade, da se to mora više puta, vrlo dobro, i sa audijom, zvukom i sve, nego neću to da, brate, radim, zašto bi to radio?
Razumljivo.
Ovih ljudi, va.
A najveći mi je crnjak da me zombi nije mlatio, ja bi ubio i onog drugog kroz teksture, jer Full Metal Jacket meci prolaze. Ovi su na Davan Tranch otišli.
Really? Tell me, father, was it Araman when you stood aside as Malus arrested me? Was it Araman too when you let her chase?
I'm not asking you to forgive me. As a free woman, you will have the luxury to fill your heart with hatred because of what I did.
To on drugi put.
Sad jest.
This isn't.
Umro?
U ove kućice jedan, aha.
O, ko sam dobar, već.
Kreniš.
A drugi?
Saznat ćemo. Pokreni se malo, nemoj da ja budem meta, ako mene ubije mogu da se pozarim. Evo ga, vidim ga.
Daj ping.
To ona. Ispred tebe desno. Ti ideš levo. Ispred tebe desno, bre. Ti iza Sena odmah tu ispred. Čuješ?
Pa koliko puta da ga hitujem, brate mili?
Dovoljno.
3 puta je hitovan.
Moj gardi.
Vidiš?
Moj gardi moram sve da, brate.
Ćeš jedva dočekat ovaj novi update.
Drakula, 3 puta sam ga šipno jebati.
Evo to jesi. Imaćeš u novom updateu onu kao tabelu da će ti pisati koliko si radio damage.
To je jako dobro stvari.
Pa jeste, znaš da li loše gađaš ili igra laže. Šta od ta dva?
Ovako. Uradimo sad ovo i zapalimo njegov loot.
Čekaj da je...
Opet pržim oružje, već. Obijem dos i spržim.
Sad kad te neko gleda šta radiš, zamisli neko te speca. Ako krsti se i klipuje kao... Dude. I never believe what I saw this day.
Da. Loot 200 na sat.
Loot.
Mora da gori, pošto sam potrošio ammo box, ali dobro, imam u brate dolču 20 metaka, ali koji će mi koriti? Zapali to, gardi.
Kurac, čime da ga zapali?
A, čime tražiš? Pa nemam ni ja, tražiš, bet. Evo, našao sam ja fenjer. Evo ti tebi fenjer i to ti to. Jednostavno je. Jebate ti ko dete neko, ko da prvi put igraš Han. Moram da ti objašnjavam neke stvari. Ovo je to. Koga su oni pucali? Meni je to nejasno. Znaš? Oni su nekog pucali, brate. Nije mi jasno koga. Koga je... Ajde, ovaj kurac. Gdje, gledaj ovo buret, crvenih bureta koliko hoćeš u ovom kompoundu. Aš. Ti mater. Još jedno budre. And another one.
A jeweler's work is never done. What are you looking for?
I bid you farewell.
Nema nikoga. Valjda. Hoćemo Slaughterhouse? Ajmo Slaughterhouse.
A patron of exquisite taste. Welcome to my store.
Telefon. Telefon, uzmi ti trag.
Hope to see you again.
Šta ti mi sad zabagovao, jebem ti mater?
Hi, customer. Welcome to my humble stand.
Tek samo poruku ja da napišem. Tu sam za sekund, ja. Brane.
Oh, there it is. Okay, all right, let's see some of these. We'll watch how some people die in game. I think that'd be funny. Okay, things are going good. All right. Oh, yeah, I see, because you see how he died, right? Yeah, y'all see how he died? He's got no debuffs.
Ali neko puca.
Beži, beži, ajde da zapalimo bossa.
As you can see, he was clearly in the
Ti umro
mechanic.
beše, nisi?
Alright, everything's going well. Level 9.
Ništa. Igra ako možeš ili ne moraš. Sad će da im...
Ej, beži od njega.
Ajde.
Welcome everyone. Today we have a very exciting and special build I want to show you guys. What you want to focus over here is these stats. Thorm 996. I'm about to go over 1000, but I want to make the build for you guys. So just let me quickly show you guys how it feels like to have this kind of Thorm. So here normally I just stand around, no casting spells at all guys. I'm just walking around in the hardest difficulty on Veteran, level 25. You know, those monsters, they touch me, they die. And in case you're wondering how much single damage do I do,
Dole u vodi. Čuješ ih.
Dva tima, brate.
Da, to si meni učinilo, pucaju jedni na drugi.
Ne mogu. Mislim da mogu Da,
Ja
mogu
imam
da uradim
optiku, ali
nešto.
da probam nešto. Kroz prozor, roknuće me kroz prozor, evo te.
Jes.